Well, greetings and salutations, and welcome back to episode 111 of the Snarp Fangle Podcast. I am your host, Jake Metzger, just patiently waiting for Disney to greenlight an SS Rajamolee Star Wars trilogy. And joining me is my co-host, a man who's convinced that even Salacious Crumb would feel bad for mocking the franchise at this point. Ladies and gentlemen, David Reed.
Yo.
How are you doing, David?
Pretty good. A little tired from the work week, but otherwise, I'm doing all right.
All right. Well, good to hear. Good to hear. And our guest this week, another woman who this time is a devotee of all things Dathomir and is going to be really upset when she finds out that Disney is retconning the past 10 years of movies and shows, explaining them all away as a Luke Skywalker's Pizza the Hut dream.
What the heck?
Ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea Metzger. How are you doing, Chelsea?
I'm doing okay. I'm also tired from work.
Nice. Well, no, not nice, but
I
so am
almost
I.
mushed my finger with a battery today.
With a car battery. Dang.
Because we were unloading them out of my car and onto a dolly, and I was grabbing it to try and adjust it, and then my finger was behind it, and he tilted the dolly back, and it smushed it, and I went, ow, like that.
Oh, jeez.
He's like, oh, you okay? And I'm like, oh, I hope it doesn't, like, you know how they say, like, the fingernail can fall off and stuff.
Yep.
It actually is fine now, but
It'll grow back.
it hurt really bad. I was like, did I, like, break the bone a little? Like, it was bad.
Well, glad to have you on, Chelsea, and thank you for being here, David, right next to your room. We appreciate you making the trek over here. And thank you for writing that
we
intro.
have to record when he's trying to sleep.
We've done that before.
Yeah.
We're no strangers to it. For comments, concerns, and where you think the House of Mass will bring balance to the Force and finally show us the birth of Kyle Katarn, for that and more, send them on over to snarpfanglepod@gmail.com, or you can just text Jake. All right. Well, today, Chelsea and Mr. Reed, I've brought you all together here because I'd like to talk about Star Wars. We had May the 4th last week, actually a week ago from us recording this, if it being Monday and all. And it was a pleasant 4th, watching the finale of Maul Shadow Lord, which we will get into, and reminiscing about what we liked, especially for me, a lot of the video games from back in the day. I watched a lot of clips online of Republic Commando and Force Unleashed.
Oh, you're feeling
up.
nostalgic?
Feeling nostalgic. I think I am going to start a replay of Fallen Order to jump right into Survivor. So
Yeah, I started
I'm excited.
that.
Excited.
I
Yeah, you
played, like,
started it.
7 minutes of it.
Yeah. We have to go and I have to go figure out the graphics settings on your computer.
I was telling David.
Yeah, the faces are all
It like locked
low
the
resolution and it's
game into
like locked.
low graphics. It's pretty funny.
Potato mode.
Yeah, potato mode.
But today I thought it'd be a great opportunity to get together and kind of bring 3 pieces of Star Wars-ness, I guess you could say, not media, but 3 discussion points. One involving the past, which David is going to bring up and talk about, and we will discuss. With Chelsea bringing the present and me bringing the future. It's not a task I take lightly, guys, but someone's got to.
You're the most important because you determine the future.
No, I don't. In fact, this future looks really grim. So, but anyway, let's talk about some good stuff. Let's talk about the past. David, what?
Do you have a favorite Star Wars quote?
Oh yeah, I do. You ready?
Oh, you actually thought about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
His little boy. No. They fly now? They fly now. I mean, Sam Jackson cursing out young. What's that Jedi Master named? Yom Kippur or something like that?
What?
Yom Kippur. What's the name of that Jedi Master?
The Jewish Jedi Master.
Yeah, what's the one? Yaddle?
Wars is
Oh,
a
Yaddle.
piece
That's
now.
it. Not Yom Kippur. Yaddle. Yaddle Kippur.
Yaddle.
Is that right?
Yaddle is
David, save me here. It's Yom Kippur, right?
There is a Yaddle.
Yaddle.
Yom Kippur is a Jewish holiday.
It's a holiday.
I mean,
He knew that.
yeah. I wonder if J.J. Abrams celebrates that. But anyway, moving forward. David, what was your pick for today? What did you bring in from the past?
Let's see. So I picked to bring out of the crusty old past into the bright new future is the OG trilogy.
Ooh.
I've
Literally,
just been
the film was crusty.
yeah, I've just been I've come to a place where I'm enjoying the stuff outside the main films less and less, with the exception of certain video games that will always be in my heart, like Knights of the Old Republic and Super Star Wars: The Empire Strikes
Currently
Back.
replaying number 2.
Good stuff like that. But other than that, I've been kind of like falling out of love with a lot of extended universe and TV shows, books, novels, all that kind of thing. And just realizing that, man, those first 3 movies were something special. And so
I feel like this is a bit of a cop-out, though, David. You're just picking the old movies. Is there anything
not
fresh
fair.
or new that they've done to those films at all throughout the years?
well, unfortunately, no, not officially at least.
Well, I mean, officially they did those. What are those called? The special editions?
yeah, then that's
Oh.
that's a point of contention for a lot of people because, I mean, I grew up watching the special editions because,
Yeah, same.
you know, they came out or at least A New Hope came out in '97, so I was 8 years old at that point.
I was 6.
So I probably, I would have seen the theatrical cut before that, but the VHS copies that we owned when I was a kid were all special edition. So that was like that was what I grew up on, and that was what I was used to, and I didn't know any different. But it's like, man, when you really watch the theatrical cuts, it's like they hold up so well, and they hold up a lot better than the special editions do, especially without that god-awful CGI.
Oh, man.
All
That
the animals and stuff.
Yeah.
like there's a few spots where the theatrical cuts kind of like show their age and are like, okay, this is tacky. Like the original song in Return of the Jedi at Jabba's palace
Oh, what a banger.
is god awful. I mean, to
Wait,
be fair,
in the theatrical release or the special edition?
yeah, to be in the theatrical release, like it really, really shows its age. Like the puppetry
I haven't
is
seen it in like so long.
the puppetry is just not great. The music is not great. But then of course they replaced it with something even worse, unfortunately.
God. A legit
Oh,
song.
so bad.
I was rewatching them. I rewatched everything. So we were rewatching like the original trilogy, and Adelaide's sitting next to me on the couch, and that song comes up, and she starts like singing it. I didn't know she knew it. I was
Oh,
like,
man.
oh wow,
If there wasn't more if she wasn't already cringy enough.
it was funny.
Oh, well.
And then also you have
love
the
you,
whole Han shot first controversy.
Oh, yep. Mhm.
Okay,
It's like-
which is true, like theatrically.
Theatrically, Han shot first.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So, basically what happened is in the special edition, George Lucas recut the movie so that Han didn't fire until after Greedo shot.
did, yeah.
And he like awkwardly, I don't know how he accomplished it, but he like made it look like Han was like narrowly dodging a laser blast, and it
It looks
looks
terrible.
it's so bad.
Like a CGI neck, like, and like.
So the one
him
on
moving.
Disney Plus that we currently have now,
Yeah.
they changed that, right?
No, that's still there. Those are all the special editions.
Yeah, the special
it?
editions.
Okay.
Yeah.
The thing with the special editions and why basically all future official releases are stuck with those changes is that George was so proud of what he had accomplished with the special edition changes that he went and edited the original negatives.
Oh my, what?
The original negative reel
What? So it's changed forever.
is
Permanently.
was permanently changed by old Georgie boy.
Old George.
That's
So-
crazy.
So no matter how the winds shift, all of his terrible decisions are set in stone from here on out.
Yeah, he couldn't just make a copy of the original negative. No, he had to do the original master. And
Yeah, and he was
Dude.
adamant that the special editions that's what he was really trying to accomplish.
The
I'm
true
like,
vision.
I'm like, really, George, the god awful CGI and terrible dance numbers. That's what your vision was for the movie.
also just the like very random CGI. Like in episode 4 or original Star Wars, when they're in Mos Eisley and they're driving around, yeah, there's a couple shots they add in where they bump into some CGI creatures and stuff. But then there's one where it's just the original shot, but there's a giant CGI dinosaur or whatever walking in front of the frame, and it covers the entire frame. And then it walks out of the camera's way. It's like, why is this here? And then we see the scene of, these aren't the droids you're looking for.
Yeah, it's
we were
so
rewatching
awful and
it.
distracting.
Yeah.
I was watching that one with Mom. I think we watched it for Valentine's Day because we didn't know what else to watch. We were like, just put in Star Wars. And we were watching it, and I kept pointing out, I was like, wow, there's a lot more CGI than I thought there was. And Mom's like, I bet you George Lucas had so much fun with that technology. No, don't do this. No, at that, don't do this. And just went overkill with his excitement.
Yeah, imagine if oh man, I'll get into that later. But I was looking at different directors he approached to direct the prequel trilogy. And it was really interesting.
He would just be the writer and the
writer
creator
instead.
or whatever.
Yeah, and they would direct it. Kind of like with Return of the Jedi. But anyway. So, David, you're bringing up the original trilogy.
Yeah, but one thing, too, is I was going to say one more thing.
Yeah.
Oh, what was it?
Prequels. How we love them.
Yeah, the prequels are so amazing. No, oh, yeah, I had I found a YouTube video called "How Star Wars Was Saved in the Edit" that was really interesting because it details how the story of how Star Wars actually came to be back in the day. And basically, to sum it all up, is George Lucas made this movie, and people watched it and thought it was terrible, and so his wife at the time, George Lucas's wife at the time, basically led a team of editors to recut the entire film into what we know of today. And basically, Star Wars was basically saved.
Saved, yeah. Kind of like Alfred Hitchcock. His wife was very much involved with editing, like a lot of his movies. I don't know if she was credited.
Yeah,
the reason
Marcia
they were
Lucas,
a team.
Her name was at the time.
A film editing team.
His wife at the time, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason why I bring it up is because after watching that video, I'm like, oh, maybe all the special edition crap was George Lucas's original plan for the movie. But
he unedited it.
But yeah, it's not all kind of the reason why I'm talking about all this, and sort of the reason why I've fallen more in love with the original theatrical cut of the movies is thanks to the effort of some very, very devoted fans who started a little project known as 4K77. So basically, from what I understand, they were in the middle of doing some kind of restorative work of A New Hope, based on some film reel that they had found. And while they were doing that, word got out, and a bunch of people started sending them film reels that they had tracked down of the original film.
Like collectors and stuff?
Just people who had them. And eventually they got a hold of some really, really, really high quality film reels, and they went through the process of cleaning them up as best as they could, of doing a brand new 4K scan, which is, that in and of itself is cool, because the 4K Blu-ray releases, official releases of the Star Wars movies, are all upscaled 1080p.
Yeah.
I think some of the prequels are 2K technically, but yeah, you're right. Basically, yeah, you're right. They're upscaled from 1080p.
So it's kind of crazy that they were able to get a hold of some high quality film, and then they do 4K scans of these. Then after physically cleaning the reels, and scanning them, they digitally retouch them. They color grade them as best as they can. Which you can't really do a whole lot with film, but they do what they can.
Yeah.
And they put out basically a version of the theatrical release of A New Hope, with just some of the most high quality visuals of any like older film I think I've ever seen.
Yeah,
to be
it's
honest,
Crazy
it's
that they were able
really
to get.
yeah, it's really impressive the level of quality you get from this because I there's some really good remasters we've seen more recently, but this was back in the 20 teens, and I think for them to do it at that time when 4K was just coming on the scene was for the mainstream, I should say, it was really impressive. And I remember hearing about them, and I could never figure out how to get a hold of them until I think it was a couple years ago. You and me were like, oh, well, let's track them down. And so I figured out you had to go to their forum, you had to make an account, you had to get an invitation link.
I figured it was. I
Yeah, you
figured
had to
it
get like
one.
an invitation link from another person, found somebody online who's doing that. And then I was able to
Gotta
get
make sure you're not a
access.
cop.
Yeah, and I'm not a narc, I swear. And then I went into the forums and I downloaded the first one and then Project 80 and then Project 83. So it's pretty cool.
How big is the file?
So from what I remember, and also I think these were, torrent links. So you could.
So they were
there's
compacted. or
yeah.
whatever?
Well, no, these were torrent links. So it's whatever file somebody was hosting peer to peer. By the way, I'm not a narc, I swear. I was working with a student today, and they come up to me, and I do tech stuff, and he said, "Hey, Jake, I have a question for you." And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "But before that, are you a narc?" And I said, "What? What's that again?" He's like, are you a cop?" I'm like, "No. Why?"
Like
He's like,
secret
"Good,
student?
because I need help because I pirated a song and I need help transferring it."
oh my god,
He was trying to transfer his
Oh,
song.
sweet innocent.
Yeah, his
boy.
Mac from his MacBook to his iPhone by AirDrop, but for some reason it wasn't working. We
Hmm.
found out the iPhone put it into a recording folder, and so Spotify couldn't recognize it. Anyway, besides that point, I'm not a narc. I was like, yeah, I was just downloading something else but right before you came up to me, so it's perfect timing. He's like, oh, okay. Anyway, I believe Project 77, 4K 77 was around 60 to 70 gigs.
Wow. Okay.
80 was about the same, but Return of the Jedi was like 90
More.
something gigabytes.
That's crazy.
And in fact, when we watched Project 83 or Return of the Jedi on the Xbox, my little USB couldn't handle the quality size of the file, or at least VLC on the Xbox couldn't or something, because we tried to play it and we had to pause every 15 minutes so it could like catch up because it would
What? It would
slow
lag?
down. It would slow down and like buffer. So we had
yeah,
to
the file was
What?
just so huge.
file was so big.
Xbox's like media player
Yeah.
just couldn't handle it.
Yeah, the
That's
Xbox One couldn't do it.
crazy.
So it was really funny. But if I may, did you want to go over anything else about it, David? I have the FAQ from the website. I thought it'd be kind of cool to go over it for a sec.
Yeah, go.
All right. So this is from the website, the StarWarsTrilogy.com/project-4K77. So this is their kind of question and answers about what this basically is. So the first question is this an upscale? And the answer, no. 97% of Project 4K77 is from a single original 1977 35 millimeter Technicolor release print, scanned at full 4K, cleaned at 4K, and rendered at 4K. The next question, who did this? Team -1, TN1, the same crew who brought you the silver screen edition 3 years ago. I don't know when, I think this was written about 2018, by the way. TN1 are not professional film restoration experts, they are just Star Wars fans like you. Why do this? You mean apart from the fact that there hasn't been a new transfer of the original film since 93? The 2006 bonus DVDs used the 93 Laserdisc master tapes, and George Lucas pretty much denies this version ever existed? This is the version I grew up watching over and over again. And I'm afraid technology has moved on to the point where the old VHS, Betamax, CED, Laserdisc, and 2006 bonus DVD just don't look good enough to watch on modern HD TV and 4K UHD television / home theater projectors. I wanted to show the film to my kids, and I wanted them to see the original version that I enjoyed at their age, not the one with the already dated looking CGI, oversaturated colors, and a strong magenta tint. Before I continue, I have a bunch in here, and you can go on the website yourself, but I think I'm going to kind of pick and prod from some of the FAQs because it's quite extensive. But here's the next question. How did you do this? And this is their answer. We scanned some prints and then used a bunch of off-the-shelf software to remove as much of the dirt, dust, and scratches as we could without going insane. The next question. Why, after spending 3 years on the SCC, the Silver Screen Edition, would you do the same film again and not move on to Empire or Jedi? And here's their answer. About halfway through the Silver Screen Edition restoration, people started to hear about our project. This kind of goes into what you were mentioning, David. And continuing on, and offered to lend us prints for scanning came flooding in. Somebody sent us a Technicolor print to scan, and somebody else who had already had one scanned sent us that to work on too. These were better sources than the LPP print and at high resolution. It was tempting to abandon the SSE and start over with the new sources, but ultimately we decided we should finish what we had started, not just to preserve the LPP, but also because of all the experience we would gain and be able to apply to the next project.
You know what's crazy about that is just how that particular film reel got to them, the one that forms, the basis for most of the material in 4K 77 is, from what I understand, a Spanish language print.
Japanese, I believe.
No, it's a Spanish language
Spanish.
print, but it was, it had ended up in Japan.
Oh, that's so weird.
Whoa.
What the heck?
And then from there it came to them. So it's crazy how like this had been sort of just circling around the globe through the hands of different Star Wars fans. And yeah, the Spanish language track is kind of like the one flaw of 4K 77, because it's not in English. They couldn't use the audio, so they had to use, and they didn't really have a good quality English language print at the time, so they had to use the Laserdisc audio.
Which is actually the next question here.
Oh.
It says, is the audio also from the 35mm print? The answer, no, unfortunately not. The only almost complete print we have is the Spanish LPP. Thank you, David, which has Spanish audio. The track was included with the Silver Screen Edition, so most of the audio tracks are Laserdisc sourced. Additional audio and subtitle tracks can also be found on Harmy's Despecialized Edition. This is another kind of recut, remaster. And then continuing on, if you have that or the official NTSC 2006 bonus DVD, you can also mix any audio track from those, and it would sync perfectly with 4K 77. Pretty cool stuff. They go into a bunch of different things. I will read this, though, because I found it quite interesting. It says here, this was one of the last questions they had. Can I donate to this project? Why should I donate? When a film is professionally scanned in 16-bit color as DPX image files, every single frame weighs in at 100 megabytes. With upwards of 175,000 frames in each film, a complete scan requires about 21 terabytes of storage, 42 terabytes if you want a backup copy, and then you need at least another 21 terabytes of space to work on it. Over $1,000 just in hard drives is therefore required for every film. Having the film cleaned prior to scanning costs another $870 plus shipping, $75 fee, and then the scanning costs between $2,000 to $15,000 depending on where you send it. And this is all excluding the cost of buying the prints. The Star Wars LPP was $2,000. The latest Empire print was $5,000. So yes, please do consider donating. It all goes into an account only used to fund these projects. And then the last thing I have for it is this. It says here, the Star Wars Special Edition restoration cost 20th Century Fox an estimated $20 million, but it earned them $138 million at the box office in '97. So far, this restoration has cost TN1 a little over $10K. But sadly, there can be no box office receipts or DVD Blu-ray sales to refill our bank accounts when it's done.
So what CPU were they able to put all those terabytes on?
CPU? Oh, you mean
whatever it was.
Well, they probably had a server. That's like a professional server rack with all the hard drives in it. And I mean, this was 10 plus years ago, so maybe like 2 terabyte drives, 4 terabyte drives in the most. And they would have to have a bunch of those. 21
terabytes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's just like seeing the cost breakdown of it. It shows you the dedication and the passion they have. And yeah, it's a shame that they won't be able to make any money off of this. Because honestly, this is some of the best Star Wars related work I've seen in a long time anywhere. So I really enjoyed 4K 77 in particular. Empire, the visual quality was a little lacking.
Like
And-
compared to the first one.
Yeah, so
And then
Yeah.
Jedi was good, but not as good as A New Hope.
yeah, A New Hope I think was the best one. Like when we watched it, we're like, this is really like you can see the pores on their skin.
There's certain shots where you can see like the makeup on the actors'
the
faces.
makeup.
Oh my
Like you can
gosh.
see the physical makeup on their faces.
It's because they probably didn't apply it with very much like the kind of care that they would in a modern movie production, because they're like, nobody's ever gonna see this.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
So like there's that, and then I love the cut, the original cut when we watched it, because it feels so much tighter than the special edition. And I grew up watching the special edition, it's what I'm used to.
Right. It's
What
we don't
grew
know
up
any
with,
better.
I don't know any better. But watching this cut, it's like it's way more better. It's fast paced. It has a great, just a great pace to it in general. And even the cutting in between the dialogue is snappier, I would say. Like it feels like George Lucas went back and let more scenes breathe, which I don't like. Also, the Jabba the Hutt scene was included and CGI'd, which was just not needed.
Yeah.
And
It was weird because when we were rewatching it and I was watching him, I was like, how did they do this? Like that's
Yeah.
original footage with
the
Harrison
dude,
Ford.
yeah.
And I'm
yeah.
watching him and he does the thing where like he steps on Jabba's tail and I'm watching it literally looks like someone took a mouse and went boop on
Just lifted
Solo,
him
and I
up.
was like,
Yeah.
oh wow, okay.
Yeah, it's
But
really
I've
bad.
seen like the
Yeah.
original deleted scene with the actor who was talking to him, so that was cool too. But
Jabba the Hutt's a human, guys.
Yeah.
he had like a big fur coat on.
Yeah.
I was like, huh?
Yeah, and him and Chewie's just looking ferocious and cool, like normal, during that whole scene. Oh, and Boba Fett's not in that scene, but I think Dengar is in there, the white hooded bounty hunter, and I think like one other or something like that, like IG-88 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Boba Fett wouldn't have been in the original scene just because he wasn't created as a character till the holiday special.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think that one of the major, most loved characters of the
Yeah.
Star Wars franchise,
One of those popular.
got his start on the holiday special. But that's a discussion for another time.
Yeah, it's for Christmas. Wait till Christmas.
But yeah, I feel like these
Two
projects.
two holiday specials. David.
Oh God.
Isn't Chewie's son's name like Lumpy or something?
Yes.
That's terrible.
So funny.
Oh my god.
There's so many bad things.
So
much nightmare
have you
fuel.
watched it?
I did a long time ago and it was like circulate back when well maybe it is on YouTube. I don't know.
Oh, it's still there.
Yeah,
still
okay,
there,
I was
yeah,
like back when it was like
Yeah.
people were
Like,
uploading it.
Yeah, like I watched Chris Stuckman review it, and he went in depth about everything about it that I was
The
enough for me.
animated
That was
segment
enough
is
for me.
kind of cool though. With Boba Fett.
I don't know if cool is the
I
word
think
to
it was
use.
like a French studio or something did it. So it definitely doesn't look like American animation. It's like smoother, but it's weirder looking.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
We don't need to spend any more time on it. Let's
I
move forward.
remember several years ago, I was at somebody's house and it was some kind of holiday. I don't remember. So we were gathered at someone's house, a bunch of us, and
Uh-huh.
like I think I'd only seen parts of it, and for whatever reason I had the idea that we should like watch it together, just so we would laugh at it, and it ended up like we just couldn't like make it all the way through. It's just like it's like a combination of like corny and just like boring.
Yeah, there are like these segments where it just stretches on. You're just watching some like an alien dance or something,
Yeah.
and you're like, we could have moved on from this like 3 minutes ago.
But yeah, back to the point of back to the 4K 77 though. Yeah, the whatever like terrible things Disney does to the franchise, like stuff like that really kind of warms my heart, because it's like I know at the end of the day, like, when I finally have kids of my own and I show them, the Star Wars movies, it's great knowing that there's like cuts of the original film that are going to stand the test of time that I could show them. Like,
Yeah.
this is why your dad loves Star Wars so
Yeah.
much, kind of a thing.
Well, when I first heard that, I was like, wait, how do you really know it's like the original theatrical cut? Because I thought that was like lost forever. And I was like, it's real? Like, that's kind of cool. Like, I want to see it. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, well, I can give you the file. I think
I don't
think
know if I have anything that could hold the memory.
The first one, I only have the first one right now. I have the other one backed up somewhere. The other one's backed up somewhere. But I can give you 4K 77. I think it's like 20 gigs. So
Okay, that's
yeah,
not too bad.
it's not too bad.
Yeah,
I still
because
need to get
And
it.
you can watch it on a Blu-ray player.
Yeah, because you put it through Handbrake, and
Yeah, I went and
Compress the
compressed
file.
it, yeah, and it still looks good.
so it's not. Yeah,
it's not too bad.
It's not 80 gigs.
No, in fact, I wanted to talk about Empire real quick because I think we watched Star Wars the first night, and then I think the next night we watched Empire when we eventually got our hands on it. And it's a much rougher remaster. And I was looking up some stuff. Apparently, that's the latest one they worked on. At the time when we
They
watched
must not have.
So
There
think
must have been nothing they could do about the quality of the film.
well, the version that they got, yeah. So
Yeah.
the first one was, A New Hope or Star Wars. And then they did 83, which was Return of the Jedi. And that's a much cleaner, much cleaner remaster. In fact, it was so clean. I'm like, this almost looks like super saturated in terms of what the colors were looking like. It was so high quality, David. The Xbox couldn't even handle it.
Our human eyes could not understand what we were seeing.
Yeah. So like, it was really cool. It's a really cool experience. And I would say in terms of at least pursue it if you're going to watch the original cut. You can go get Empire. You can go find Return of the Jedi, especially Return of the Jedi with some of the CGI stuff taken out. But I think it's such a cool experiment. And the fact that I think Disney, or I think Lucasfilm itself, is going to do a screening of an original cut of Star Wars. I don't know when. I think it's supposed to be next year or something like that in theaters.
They're going to charge out the nose for it.
Well, I mean, it's going to be a theatrical release, but I hope they found a good original source or something like that.
It'd be like $30 a ticket.
I mean, I would do it I would go see in big screen. I think
it would probably be more because aren't IMAX tickets like $20 each or something or more?
Or more, yeah. Well, I mean, if you're in the LA area, it's like
that's the norm.
That's the norm, yeah.
Yeah, the funny thing is whenever this happens, I mean,
are you going, David?
Like, probably.
Yeah. Let's do it.
But yeah, whenever this happens, I can't imagine that what they're going to come up with is probably going to be even to the same level as 4K 77.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know if it'll be true 4K or anything.
Like, it'll be cool to see it in theaters for sure.
Yeah.
So
I've never seen them in theaters.
So I'd be excited to watch it just for that. I almost watched Empire in theaters back at the end of the pandemic.
Right. Yeah.
But
I forgot about that.
But unfortunately, the seats were all sold out. Well, they weren't sold out, but they had to do the stupid staggered seating.
Yeah, 3 seats away.
Yeah,
or something
that
like
was
that.
dumb.
And there was enough seats available for us all, but there wasn't enough
spaced out
seats.
You're like, I could sit right there.
So yeah, so we ended up watching The Goonies instead.
Oh, there you go.
That was my first time actually watching The Goonies, which was interesting. So, but yeah, 4K 77 is really interesting and cool. 80, which is Empire, is a very rough cut. A lot of dirt on the film. A lot of imperfections that they haven't gotten quite out yet. But Return of the Jedi is immaculate. It's crazy. It looks almost like a modern film. It looks amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, the one I think out of all of them, my favorite is 4K 77 for the visual quality. Yeah, the only problem being that Laserdisc soundtrack, because the problem with digital audio is back in the day, it was a lot worse than the digital audio we have now. And so those Laserdisc versions that they got the audio from are from 93. So, they were,
wow.
So, CD quality is 16-bit.
Yeah.
But, most of the time what happens nowadays is they record at 24-bit, and and the software that they're mixing on is running internally at like 32 bits or even 64 bits. And this is the amount of like headroom like the signal has before it distorts.
Yeah.
So it determines how like hot you can push the levels, and and then how much loudness you're able to get out of it by boosting the volume. And so yeah, modern audio, they record it at 24-bit. The software is working internally at 32 or 64-bit. And then when you finally get that CD quality 16-bit master, that's after a lot of work has been done to make sure that no peaks cross over the zero line and produce any distortion or other unpleasant artifacts.
Yeah, reverb.
Back in the 90s, 16-bit was all they had.
Yeah.
So they recorded and mixed and mastered all at 16-bit, which meant that in order to get any usable dynamic range out of it, they were recording at levels that were like this far from going over the line. So they were working dangerously close to distortion back in the early days of digital audio. And unfortunately, there was a few overs in that Laserdisc track, and you can hear it.
I think
I mentioned it when we watched it. Yeah, there's just moments where you can hear the dialogue gets a little bit too loud, and they didn't catch it, and it goes over zero a little bit, and you can hear a little bit of distortion, a little crackle on it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's the only flaw with 4K 77. But as far as the visual quality goes, I think that was my favorite one, just because like the amount of detail they extracted from that print was so crazy.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, and even though I think 80 or Empire is the lower one, and out of all three of them, it's still a good transfer in the sense like it is 4K, true 4K. It's just the source they were only able to get the source that they did. So it's like, and also an interesting about in terms of film, if you film something at 35 millimeter or even 70 millimeter, which you can, I mean, kind of the resolution theoretically is kind of infinite. It's kind of the overhead kind of concept you're talking about with audio. In terms of visual style, this is why all the filmmakers, or most of the filmmakers in Hollywood, want to film in IMAX, because that is also a true film format instead of just recording digitally. Like you take something like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 back in 2017 or whatever, filmed at 8K on red cameras. 8K is the highest resolution you're going to go throughout the entire year, the entire time that film is in existence. If you have something on film, technically you could go an infinite amount of resolution, depending on the quality of the film, though. There's also that to take into account. Yeah. So if you go, of the scan. So if you have it on film, you can, we can get 4K out of it, which is a super great high resolution, resolution. But like it said, the original source file frame is 100 megabytes, accumulating into 21 terabytes. So theoretically, once the technology gets to the point, you can technically go to 8, 12, 16, 24K on that original film reel. Yeah. Theoretically, of course.
I mean, it's crazy to think about it, too, that even in 1977, 35 millimeter film had enough potential detail detail in it that they can now, decades later, make a fresh 4K scan of it and have it just come out looking so detailed and so good.
And there's also stuff like we just went to go see the new 4K remaster of Ben-Hur in theaters. And even on the big screen, it's crazy the amount of detail from the 60s they were able to pull from that. And MGM and Warner Brothers and all of those guys have a great library of saving them.
Those are saved somewhere.
Especially Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers actually has a new studio department called Warner Brothers Clockwork, like Clockwork Orange. But that department is specifically tasked to go and remaster the old
take care of
negatives of different films. I think they're doing like an Oliver Stone film this fall as their first film. Well,
they had that fire, and they lost a lot of original reels.
Yeah,
during the Universal.
That was Universal though. This is Warner Brothers.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, so this is Warner Brothers, and the department head, I can't remember his name for for the life of me, but he has like done a really good job about the physical media releases and bonus features and going, and he has institutional knowledge about where all the film negatives are for Warner Brothers and as well as other studios.
Dang.
So like
kidnap that
he
man.
and now with Paramount buying Warner Brothers, people are worried that he might be gone or other people
Like no one will,
leave.
the next person won't care or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it might be.
That's always a risk.
Yeah. So, but it's
It's
cool
not
that like
profitable.
people like Arrow Video or even a Criterion Collection, like they go and remaster stuff as well. And even though like Blu-rays and physical media are like kind of being phased out right now, it'll still be a boutique thing. There's still a market for it. It's just we have to find it in different avenues.
Yeah, I don't think physical media will ever truly die. It'll just kind of like, it'll ebb and flow, but I don't think it'll ever truly die.
You'll always get people who want it, especially with like the streaming stuff now where they just pull stuff off.
Yeah.
Like the Disney Vault.
Yeah.
Speaking of 4K remasters, I recently bought a few concert films on 4K Blu-ray, and one of them was a recent 4K remaster of Pink Floyd's Live at Pompeii, which was so crazy to me because that wasn't like Star Wars was a big budget Hollywood film, right?
Yeah.
Pink Floyd's Live at Pompeii was not a big budget Hollywood film. It was a concert film. I mean, it was there was definitely a level of production involved in it because it's Pink Floyd,
Yeah.
but like nowhere near on the level of a big budget Hollywood film. And this is in the same decade. We're talking about in the 70s here. And they recently did a 4K remaster of that, and I got a hold of it, and it's like, it's insane how good it looks.
That's crazy.
So good, I couldn't even rip the Blu-ray. It wouldn't let me on the computer. I'm like, come on, man. I don't have a 4K
thing.
Well, I don't have a 4K disc player.
Oh.
I guess I could flash it and enable it, but I don't know how to do that yet. But some 4K discs do, like, for example, David's copy of Stop Making Sense, what are they called?
Talking
Heads concert that you also acquired. Like, that ripped okay. But for some reason, the Pink Floyd one wouldn't. So
my thought is always like legal reasons.
For sure. I mean, that's
I
the
grew up
number
in
one
the age
reason it
where
won't
like
do it.
they had like the tabs on the VHS tapes and
The
stuff.
interesting thing is I think 4K Blu-rays have less copy protection than DRM than Blu-rays do.
Really?
Because I don't know that for sure, but like I do know that 4K Blu-rays are not region locked.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
4K Blu-rays
you could buy like
are all region free, whereas Blu-rays are usually region locked.
Yeah, because what was I looking for? It was an anime movie or whatever, and I only found like the Australian version, so they had like the little rating in the corner, and I was like, I want one that's gonna run on my thing, and then people were saying, oh no, it's region free, and I was like, I don't know about that.
This is just from Google Gemini, but it says here, no 4K UHD Blu-rays have more encryption and security restrictions than standard. They dive into, they use ACCS encryption, and Blu-rays discs use that, but then 4K, they made a second version of that ACCS2 encryption, which is more complex and tightly integrated into the hardware itself. They also have stuff listed about firmware locks and other things like that. But yeah, basically they are more locked down.
Which is interesting.
Which makes sense. I can rip pretty much every Blu-ray, but 4K Blu-ray, it's like hit or miss.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's just weird that they're more copy protected, but then also they did away with the concept of region locks.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah. Also, funny thing about that is, so you, me, and Steve, David, have the Steam controller on the way, right? We ordered it. We got a copy. Well, AMD, which is the major hardware manufacturer for all the consoles, as well as Steam Machine and Steam Deck, they have submitted a piece of code officially into the Linux database of approving a HDMI 2.1.
Oh, I did see.
Which also enables HDCP, which is a copyright protection protocol on HDMI where you can't use an HDMI cord with your computer because for copyright protection reasons. Kind of like you can't rip a 4K Blu-ray, you can't watch an official 4K image from a streamer.
That's weird that a cord though.
Well, I know exactly, but it's all because of
yeah.
Hollywood and their obsession with copyright protection, which is understandable. But to do it at a hardware level in terms of an HDMI cord, so dumb.
That's
but
weird.
now Linux, they're finally submitting this code for Linux, and it seems like, especially with the timing of the Steam Machine, we might be seeing some really great custom AMD computers out in the wild that are made by different manufacturers, including Valve, where we could see a wonderful media machine. I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, AMD is kind of like the little brother of hardware manufacturers at this point. So it kind of makes sense that they're a little behind the times when it regards to that kind of thing. Because it's really funny too how I guess NVIDIA drivers are very unfriendly towards open source software like Linux, whereas AMD drivers are very friendly towards open source, but for whatever reason, they couldn't until just now hack having HDMI 2.1 on open source operating systems.
Yeah, because you can use HDMI 2.0, that's fine. But 2.1 is where you get above AK60. So it's like, there's more to it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we've lost some of our audience here. So, David, was there any final words you have about 4K77?
Yeah, I'll just say that
I think it's worth seeking out.
Yeah, if any of our audience, you have the means and the know-how in order to seek these things out, I wholly recommend that you do. They are incredible films and made me appreciate the original Star Wars movies a whole lot more than I already did, which brought me a lot of hope and good feelings in this time of the franchise being less than in a less than ideal spot right now. But yeah, and so I'm excited. I'm excited for the future of what this kind of thing could possibly open up, what doors it may open up for the future, for the theatrical releases to finally somehow make their way into, official capacity somehow.
Legitimate.
And even if that doesn't happen, I know for a fact that, even if everything stops here, I know for a fact that when I have kids someday, these releases, these versions are going to be the ones that I show them.
Mm-hmm.
So they're that good.
What's your favorite Star Wars quote?
Favorite Star Wars quote? Oh,
Could be anything.
I haven't actually thought about that.
You don't want to
maybe
make,
from A New Hope.
You don't want to make him angry. What does C-3PO say at the gaming board in Star Wars? Like, you don't want to make the Wookiee angry.
No, don't make the Wookiee.
Let the Wookiee
the
win.
Let the Wookiee win, yeah.
Let
That's
the
a good
Wookiee
one.
win.
But what about a prequel quote, David? What's your favorite prequel quote? Let's go to that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Adawanga.
Oh, man. I think there's
He's
so
a
many
slave.
good ones.
That's yours.
I don't know. Maybe Revenge of the Sith. Anakin just going full retard mode. You turned her against me. You underestimate my power.
That would be like the Emperor.
Oh no, I got it. Yeah, Emperor. Unlimited power.
Actually, no. You know what my favorite prequel quote is? It is from Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
It's when Obi-Wan kills Grievous.
Yes.
And he drops the blaster. He's like, so uncivilized.
Uncivilized.
You know, I just thought of mine from Revenge of the Sith. I am the Senate. Like, yeah, let's do it.
I love
What's
democracy.
yours, Chelsea?
Oh, so
What's your favorite quote?
I had 3, but I'm like, I gotta pick one. One's from
Just do 3. Just say
one,
them.
no. Well, one's I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me.
That's
Because that was when I started like actually paying attention like to the script writing in Star Wars from Rogue One.
That is a good quote.
And then you realized how absolutely crappy it was.
No, I actually love a lot of it.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's like the divider.
I was quoting like
Yeah.
Obi-Wan in Revenge. Like I don't like that whole segment when he's on when he's fighting Grievous on that planet. I don't remember what planet it is.
What?
But I was just like Ewan McGregor being like, "Oh, I don't think so."
Oh my god, it's so bad.
funny. We were laughing pretty hard
His
at that.
eyes. Oh my god.
No, my legitimate quote is probably the speech Yoda gives. Yoda's got the hardest truth bombs of
Oh, yeah.
like
Mhm.
any character in
Backward
Star
truth
Wars.
bombs.
Like real ones you can like use in real life and take to heart. And my favorite from Yoda is my ally is the Force and what a powerful ally it is. And that whole speech of how we're luminous beings. We're not this crude matter and stuff. And then my favorite part though is after he lifts the X-Wing out And Luke says, "I don't believe it." And Luke's just complaining the whole time.
Yeah.
And so,
It's so good. Yeah, that's like probably the best.
Yeah,
part.
and he like waits a beat, looks right at him, and is like, "That is why you fail." And it's not like critical.
So
it's
good.
like just fact.
That whole scene is
So
one of the
good.
most powerful scenes
Yeah.
in like any movie, to be honest. For my money, I think that whole scene is one of the best scenes in movies itself.
So good.
And it's just like, wow, man, we need to get back to some of that in Star
Yeah,
Wars.
good, like,
Because that's totally like that is totally like DNA from like Kurosawa films and stuff like that. Like what Star Wars was inspired by. All
I
those
feel like
samurai
the
films.
next time they like the closest they could get to that, especially in like the new ones, is when I think it's The Last Jedi when the lightning hits the tree and Yoda shows up to Luke. Yoda dropping those truth bombs and he says, "We are what they grow beyond," and that is the burden of every master.
what?
I was
As
like,
much-
"Dang, that is
As much crap as Ryan Johnson gets, those are good quotes from Yoda.
Yeah,
It was very Yoda.
unfortunately, that whole scene was pure
Yeah.
dog shit. But
Uh-huh.
I mean,
It's
some
in
of the
it's
quotes,
sprinkled in there.
some of the
Look a little
quotes are
puffier.
some of the quotes are cool. You know, when
Yeah,
you take them out of context.
Yeah.
more."
But yeah,
More.
David, like the quote, like Luke saying, like, "I can't believe it," and then
Yeah, that
And
is
then
why you
Yoda's-
fail.
That's like
Oh.
some.
But I think the key to that is he wasn't doing it in like a critical way. Like I told you, like it was
like a
so
full.
genuine. It was like
It was a lesson.
I'm trying to teach you.
Yeah.
Like this is the answer. You
and
know.
the cool thing about that too was like it was Luke just saying, "I can't believe it," like
Like wow.
like wow, like that's amazing. And he was saying it in a colloquial way.
Yeah.
And Yoda's like, "No, actually that's the reason why you couldn't do it."
So good.
I'm like, you literally just saw it.
And you know what? I haven't watched Andor, but I hear a lot of good things from like speeches certain characters
Look
give and
up
stuff like
Luthen
that.
Rail's speech.
Yeah, that's the one I hear.
About the
Is
guy
that Andy
asked him,
Serkis's
why do you do what you do or whatever. It's
Oh.
Skarsgård's character.
Oh, Skarsgård, yeah. But
He's like,
but
so
even
that I
from-
can. What did he say? He said, so I can create a sunrise I will never see or
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well,
crazy.
yeah,
It's
there's some
crazy
great
writing.
stuff there. There's also good stuff in like I would say even Clone Wars, like especially at the end of season 6 with Ahsoka and her being chased by a bunch of different things and plot lines. Like some of like the last interaction between her and Anakin before she leaves, there's some good stuff in there too. Like I feel like Filoni just
yeah.
really nailed the good side of Lucas in that show. And then now he's kind of like going
No, I'm
weird
gonna
with Ahsoka.
I'm gonna bring him up with Maul.
Well, let's get in.
mean, I could highly doubt that, but sure, let's go into it.
Let's go into Maul. Chelsea, what's your example? You're bringing us the present. Speaking of the present,
The now, literally the
Yeah.
now.
What's the
We're
quote?
in
David,
now.
We're
David.
in now.
David, what's the
Yeah.
quote? What's the quote,
That
David?
is now. And it's like, what am I looking at?
David, what's that quote from Zoolander? I mean Kung Fu Panda. What's that quote where it's like
Yesterday's
Today-
history, tomorrow's a
it's a
mystery,
mystery.
but today is the
a
present.
Today is the gift. Today is a gift.
Today is a gift.
That's
That's why
why
they
it's
call
called
it
the
the present.
present.
Yeah.
I've never watched Kung Fu Panda.
David,
You'll love them.
we gotta
I
do a
will not.
We gotta do a
I
podcast of just that
absolutely
trilogy.
will not.
It's good stuff, dude.
I
The third one's
absolutely
like the
will
worst.
not.
But the first dude, the second one.
We watched
Dude,
that
that's
one
the
other
empire
day.
of
Mom
the
wanted to watch that for
Pandaverse,
Mother's
man.
Day.
The panda, like, forget Warcraft, man. The pandas are kicking
Warcraft.
ass in Kung Fu Panda, man.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, speaking of Kung Fu,
Kung Fu.
and has no pandas included. Chelsea, what do you
Walk us through the valley.
walk us through the valley?
The dark
Okay.
valley that
Shadow
we're in.
Lord.
So I feel like our audience, not like the Star Wars fans, I feel like the Snarp Fangle audience.
What do you mean, you people?
Yeah. The number one question that I hear right from not just my mom, but then I hear more people saying it is like, wait, I thought he got cut in half. And I'm like, so
We're talking
briefly-
about. So let's talk about
I have it
Maul.
here. I have it here.
Shadow Lord.
Spoiler alert, he
Yeah, this
didn't
is
die
full-
in episode
No,
1.
he doesn't.
Also, this is full spoilers, by the way, guys. Go watch it on
Yeah.
Disney Plus if you're
I
interested.
didn't write down any spoilers like the last
Okay.
episodes or anything.
Okay.
I just
Yeah.
want to talk about like the quality of the show and the characters.
All right, cool. Yeah, go for
Okay,
it.
anyway.
I mean,
so,
Now, wait. Yeah.
To be fair, there is a certain degree of, well, you kind of got to spoil the fact that Maul is alive.
Not
He's
cut in
alive,
half
guys.
To
anymore.
talk about a show that features him as the main character.
Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy? That like the trailers for this show started going viral, and people were like, "This show looks crazy," and people are like, "I haven't seen him since like Phantom Menace." That's legit what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
you know?
unless you watched Clone Wars, you have no idea.
right?
what's
Because
happening.
who is watching that unless like you are like a Star Wars fan, right?
Yeah. So Chelsea, I'm setting the clock timer right now.
Oh, gosh.
Bear with me.
You didn't set a timer for you.
No, I'm setting a time. It's set at 120 minutes. You have 2 hours.
I'm
So
done.
go
2
for it.
hours.
Go for
no,
it.
thank you. I'm gonna try and get this as efficiently as possible. Okay. Chalkboard. Why is Maul alive?
All right.
Okay, so Sith can't become Force ghosts. There's no consciousness after death for them. Through sheer survival using hatred and vengeance, Maul let the dark side take over his body after falling down a trash chute and ending up on a trash planet. I can't remember what it's called. Maul let the dark side take over his body, and it made him a new one. It was at the cost of a price, though, as he lost his mind to the dark side, and he began, when they find him, he's like saying things from the past and the future that the dark side has witnessed, but he hasn't, which is insane. Okay, and then that's how he gets it back. Throughout the Clone Wars series, he's gotten 3 different types of legs. His brother finds him insane, takes him back to his mother on Dathomir, and she heals
What's
his
his
mind.
brother's name?
Savage.
Opress.
Yeah, oppressed.
Yeah.
It's
Savage
not
Opress. What a
subtle at
name.
all.
What a
Well, and
name.
then you get like Zabrak brothers who are like in the new one, his name is Scorn. So it's like violent names, I guess.
Yeah.
But then his brother's name is
Dathomirians,
Icarus,
man.
which is badass
Yeah.
too. I don't know.
Dathomirians, man.
Okay, yeah,
love
so that's how he came back. And then from there on, he like took over the criminal underworld for a while. He fought Obi-Wan multiple times. He fought Ahsoka, he fought Sidious. And there was like a comic book that explains how he got to the end of Clone Wars or whatever. And I think that's
What
pretty much
happened at the
it.
end of Clone Wars, season 7?
Season 7.
Like, you don't just say what happens to Ahsoka. What happens to Maul?
Maul, well, he escapes and you never see him again.
There we go.
Yeah, so he's in like a prison sarcophagus. They have him in like Silence of the Lambs almost, and there's only like a little window for his eyes to see, and he's screaming to everybody, "We're all going to die," because he knows what's about to happen.
Oh, Order 66.
yeah, and then
yeah.
Ahsoka escapes the clones, frees him, and that was another quote I thought about. He's like, "You're not gonna give me a weapon," and she's like, "Go on, get out of here!" Just get out. And so he's like, "Oh, you're not gonna give me a weapon?" And she's like, "You don't need one." And she's like, "Go cause chaos. That's what you're good at." And
it's so dope.
he
It's so
slaughters
dope.
guys without a weapon. He like takes a panel off the wall and throws it at a clone trooper and splits him in half.
Oh,
Yeah, and then he takes down the ship. That was the last time we see him.
so dope, dude.
Yeah.
That whole finale is.
Okay, and
So
then Maul Shadow Lord is the next time we see him.
All right. So
Okay,
what? So is this going to be like your review or?
no, I'm just gonna give what is that called? A summary when
synopsis?
someone's like reading the back of a DVD.
Synopsis?
Yeah, right.
Plot synopsis.
Plot
Right.
synopsis? What's the synopsis
Just
of
briefly,
Shadow Lord?
and then I wanted to say my favorite characters.
Okay. Sure.
But you watched it too, so I'm curious to hear what you think.
Yeah, we'll go for it.
All right, so this show takes place 1 year after Order 66, so very recently after the Empire took over, on a planet named Janix. It is a mid-rim planet, and Maul tries to build his criminal organization while in hiding. The show follows 3 character groups: Maul and his criminal activity, a police captain named Brendan Lawson trying to find Maul, but he has no idea who or what he is, and 2 Jedi in hiding, Master Iko Diodaki and his apprentice Devin. Janix is a back alley planet and the mid-rim somewhere. The Empire has yet to occupy this planet at the beginning of the show. They're so new. It's probably so small they don't even care about it. However, the Empire does eventually show up, and Maul is trying to steal Devin, the Jedi apprentice, away from her master, luring her over to the dark side to become his apprentice in order to fight the Empire.
Wow, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. So that's the summary.
Interesting. So you got a cop investigating what's going on in his city. He's trying to not let the Empire get involved in his planet. You have Maul and kind of fighting some of the crime lords, trying to trick
They
them.
show tell in the show how like in Clone Wars he pretty much took over the whole criminal underworld. He took over Black Sun, the Pikes, Crimson Dawn. He took over all of them.
in Clone Wars.
Yes. And that's how he takes over Mandalore.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then the Siege of Mandalore arc begins, and it's the fall of Mandalore being a neutral planet and stuff, and he's pulling the strings the whole time.
Mm.
So he's trying to get power, like a power in numbers again.
Yeah.
And he's got like 6 guys with him or 7 guys or something. And so, but they're super efficient and they're super loyal.
Sure, yeah.
Except for maybe some of the leftover Mandalorians of Death Watch who are starting to lose hope in him a little bit. So.
Also,
yeah.
Can I say a really nerdy side note that I never realized until just now?
Sure.
About Star Wars lore, Dave. David, are you ready? Anyway,
Star Wars in general?
continuing on. The reason why Mandalore was so important for Sidious to get rid of, because it was a whole civilization of warriors that could defect from the Empire and go against him.
Well, they were
So
the
that's
first...
why he went after Mandalore in the first place. And that's why...
Well, historically,
it
they
kind
were
of
the
all
first to make
accumulates there.
armor specifically made to fight against Jedi.
Well, that too, yeah.
Yeah, because their
So-
Beskar armor, it was when they met the Jedi like centuries ago or whatever, and they saw that they had like the Force and
Millennia.
lightsabers and
Millennia.
stuff. So they made something to defend against them.
Yeah,
So really, they
So-
could be,
interesting.
and they're extremely organized and traditional and
then
stuff.
it all ends with Jack Black in season 3 of Mando. Anyway, continuing on.
And
go
Lizzo.
for it. And oh God, no. Oh.
Did she play any crystal flutes in that? In that
No,
episode?
Does
maybe
she
it would have been
play
better.
does she play something in there?
No.
I haven't seen.
No,
season
no,
3.
it's just him and her like husband and wife of this planet that was secretly taken over by droids, and they need Mando's help to escape.
They should totally do like a musical. They should have done a musical number. They're both musical people.
Oh my gosh, it was a no-brainer.
Like instead of Peaches, he could be singing about R2 or something.
Man, more reasons why I'm glad I didn't
Watch
skipped
season
out
3.
on the 3rd season of Mandalorian.
Me too. I
Just think of it as a Saturday morning cartoon.
You know what? I don't
You'll
want
feel
to.
better about it.
Yeah, I don't.
I watched that
don't
with Clone
really.
Wars.
I don't really watch Saturday morning cartoons. I'm not.
I watch Red Letter Media cartoons.
There you go. Quality media.
Quality. Absolutely.
So Jake,
Carbon
what did
breaker.
you think about this?
So after watching the show,
Because I made you marathon it.
yeah, so we
before the
marathoned
finale.
it Saturday before the finale, and then Star Wars Day happened, May the 4th, and then they dropped the last 2 episodes. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought
What
it
do
was
you think about it
actually-
as an animation? Because this is one of the Lucasfilm animation series.
Well, let me get to story first. I think in terms of story, it's
I meant that. I just mean like out of all the
animation.
different stuff
just
they've
all of
made.
this
yeah.
is out of Clone Wars, Rebels, all of it.
Yeah.
This is the hands down the best animation they've done.
This
is the
so...
closest. Like if you've seen Arcane, David, that woke
That's
show.
exactly what I thought.
Like, if you've seen Arcane, this is the closest you get to that. You don't get to Arcane, but it's pretty dang close.
Well, they do that with like the background. Like there's a whole bunch of behind the scenes, but the guy who did like the concept art in the city, like the show is CG, but all the backgrounds are literally just smudged
the
paint
backgrounds are
on
beautiful.
glass.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's
that's,
crazy.
In fact, something that stood out to me was the fact the backgrounds. I was like, dang, this is like something that you wouldn't see in Rebels at all. Rebels is such a cheap looking show, by the way.
I feel like Clone Wars is cheaper though, because it's the first one.
Well, yeah,
they
it's
did.
the first one, but it has a certain grunge to it, especially in the later seasons that Rebels really lacks.
Well, yeah, Rebels was
I
the
don't know
first time
why.
when Disney took over Star Wars. So they were like, well, we need a younger show
Yeah.
and
But-
stuff, but I prefer Rebels.
Well, I'm talking about like in terms of texture on character skin. In
Yeah,
terms of
Adelaide
the
was.
way they
I was
look.
rewatching some episodes, and Adelaide's like, they looked like toys. I was
Yeah, they look like
I was like,
toys.
the Clone Wars look even more like toys because they got like
Yeah.
pointy cheekbones and stuff. So
Yeah,
she's like, I don't know.
But
In
I think,
this though, it looks like if you see clips, David, they do like these zoom ins, and you see like Maul's face. It looks like someone painted an
yeah, it
actor
looks
with
like
makeup.
they painted him.
Like he
and
looks
some
like
of
a
the
real
shots-
person.
Yeah, some of the shots look almost uncanny. Like they look that good.
Just like look up clips. I was looking up to see if there are the clips on YouTube, and they do
I-
have them like fights and stuff.
In terms of like, as well as all of the animation stuff they've done outside of maybe some episodes in Star Wars Visions, this is the best we get, I think, from
Yeah,
Star
and
Disney
Visions
Star
wasn't even
Wars.
Lucasfilm; it was like foreign studios and stuff.
Exactly. So I think overall, I really liked it. I just, as we get more, and this is something I was thinking about as we were watching it, as we get more into, here's a story that's in between this thing and in between this thing. I mean, we see this, like we can, as we were watching this, I think I'm finally getting to the point where I'm kind of tired of being in the Galactic War era.
Okay,
I'm kind of tired of the Empire, the Rebels. I'm tired of all of that. I've been tired with that for probably 5 years. I just haven't admitted it yet. But now I'm like super tired of it because, and I'm not going to spoil it, but I feel like we know how Maul's story ends. And we know
we
what
do. Rebels shows him as an older man, and we see his death and everything. So it's kind of interesting.
Spoilers! No, I'm
It's
joking.
kind of
We weren't gonna
interesting
spoil it.
watching Rebels, which came out years ago, and then jumping back and showing like
so
this.
it's like
it's not like awful.
well, here's
it's
the
just
thing.
like,
It's we know where the story's gonna go and we know how it ends. But it's interesting what they're introducing. So like the concept of a cop on a planet trying to prevent
It's
the
so
Empire
cool.
from visiting his planet so they don't get taken over, fascistically. And
yeah,
all that
he's
kind
got
of stuff.
a partner, a droid, and he's like, oh, it's protocol to call the Empire. We need
He's
to call
like,
the
no,
Empire.
don't do it. We
And
can
he keeps
handle
like
the
they were
syndicates.
eventually like the droid goes past him to the chief, and she's like, I put him on desk duty. Yeah, because he tried to call the
And, like,
Empire.
I think what saves this show for me a lot is the side characters, even though I think a lot of people would have the opposite opinion. Like, I could see a lot of people finding these characters annoying and kind of like, oh, we've seen this before. But I feel like having them in the story with Maul brings a shining light. And the fact that, we don't see a whole lot of them by the end of it, I feel like
yeah.
is a good for the better, because then we go on to whatever's next after this. But we know how this ends. We know that this
Not
is-
really.
We know that this goes into Rebels. We know that before Rebels, he was.
But that's
in
a huge
Solo,
gap
you
from
know?
the end of Clone Wars to Rebels. Is like how
I'm
many
kinda
years? Like
tired
30
of
years or whatever.
watching these characters that I've grown to love and to watch. I know their beginning and end, and in between stories are kind of getting to the point to me where I'm like, let's just get some new stuff in here.
So what you're saying is bring on that Luke Skywalker pizza dream.
Exactly. I mean, why not? I mean, me and David were joking about this last night. Like,
Yeah, that's literally what I said, which is why I put that in the intro.
Yeah.
Is that I want Disney to be so desperate and so hard up for some new idea to make Star Wars good again that they're gonna retcon everything, do like a straight like adaptation of like Heir to the Empire or something like that, just like something that's really good from the expanded universe era. And just
the way they open the movie.
yeah, just include a scene where Mara Jade like wakes Luke up
What's the matter?
and
He's
he's
like, ah!
and he just has like a terrible pizza dream.
No, you know what he was dreaming about? Yeah, it was a pizza dream, but he was dreaming about, Ben Solo and Rey kissing, and he's like,
Oh my
God. Oh!
That's what woke him up.
But and we'll get into it as we get into the future stuff, because that's our next section. But I think overall, Shadow Lord was cool. And
I was gonna say, can
I'm
it just
pretty
be cool?
excited to see what they do
It'd
next.
just be beautiful.
The fan service at the end was kind of like, okay,
I didn't
expected
think
this.
so. I thought that was fitting.
Let me finish. You'll get there. But I think that the fan service, it was kind of fitting, but it's like, okay, come on. You couldn't have had like...
Literally, the whole last episode is just a long
I get
fight,
it.
and
Yeah, I
it's
get
so
it.
good.
And I think it's cool, but like, I just, again, I feel like, what else can we do?
You're
Can we
becoming an old man, Jake.
I feel like they've just milked it beyond points. And I feel like, there's a little bit left over here we can explore. And I love how Sam Witwer's involved. I love the promotional artwork kind of mirroring Force Unleashed. David, there's a poster where he's got, because Maul can split his lightsaber in two
he could,
lightsabers,
and he could reconnect it.
and he can reconnect it.
I mean,
but there's
so
a
can the
poster where
kid
it's like
in,
from his back. You see his back, like from the side of it, his figure, and you see the two lightsabers in his fists, and you're like pointing back behind him, and it's the exact same poster pose from Force Unleashed 2. And also Sam Witwer.
Well, okay.
One second. Sam Witwer was
I'm
also
sorry.
in Force Unleashed as the main character.
That was his
So
it's
first
pretty
job
cool.
as Lucasfilm.
That's kind of cool.
Games.
Yeah, I mean, Force Unleashed was kind of cool how that was like the last canon Star Wars thing before the Disney retcon was Force Unleashed.
I just got done replaying it, and that game is so angsty, and I'm like,
man. Oh,
this
man.
like feeds a 14-year-old boy in me or whatever.
Which was funny.
I'm more powerful than Darth Vader and the Emperor.
Which was so funny
I can
because at the
crush
time,
ATS with my hands.
because it's so funny because at the time I really wasn't into it at all. But you and Adelaide were
I thought
like,
it was so weird. You're
into
like a
it.
little boy.
Yeah, I
like-
would be so into it.
Yeah,
but I
you
was
would
like,
be so into it.
whatever. I just watched you guys play. I'm like, it's not really for me. And you guys were like obsessed with it. So,
It was
it's
cool,
pretty
and now
funny.
replaying it, I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
this
it's
is
good
definitely like a fan
yeah.
fiction kind of."
Uh,
It was sick though, cause Sam Witwer got the job. It's crazy how he
it's so
got
cool.
it.
The story's great.
He did a bunch of different auditions for different things. His buddy, who was working in that group of them coming up with this game saw concept art of his face, of the character. And they found out that the artist was going through like the pile of like portfolios or whatever. They thought his face was unique and used it. And he called him up and he said, you need to get your files together. You need to get your test prep, like dialogue together. He's like, I can't tell you what it is, but you were going to thank me so much. He was nerding out, and that's why he got the job as Star Killer and stuff. So cool. Now he's back again.
And what is so cool about that is when he went in for the audition to be Star Killer, they said, okay, we want you to sit down and we want you to meditate. Like, because you're the apprentice, right? And so he sat down and he's in a meditation pose, like physically, like for people to watch.
Yeah, in the room, yeah.
And he's doing it and he's like visibly uncomfortable. Like his eyes are closed, but he's like wincing and he like can't like find like a piece of a focus. And they stop him and they say, what's going on? Why are you being this way? And he replied, he said, well, because I'm a Sith, I can't find peace within the Force, so I'm always at battle with the Force. Like he was going deep in lore, basically, giving examples about what a Sith apprentice would be. And it's like, oh, that's so interesting. And he basically got the job.
Yeah, so everyone involved in this project had something to do with Force Unleashed, by the way. Where's his name? The guy who's the sound designer.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was involved with Force Unleashed. Some of these people have been part of Lucasfilm for quite a long time.
No, yeah, he's been doing like TV shows. David W. Collins. David W. Collins. So he was the voice of Proxy in Force Unleashed, but he was also like the sound mixer and editor and stuff. He worked all through like Clone Wars and stuff. So he's back in this project, and they released a promotional clip of him explaining like how everything in the show is alive and there's all these little things for the fans to find. But one of the things was he took the scream of Sam Witwer screaming as Maul and he mixed it into the sound effects for his lightsaber. And you can hear it in the fight scenes with Maul. He ignites his lightsaber and you hear like almost, you think like, is that screaming?
Especially
like
when he's swinging, you hear like a faint scream.
It's like it's so crazy. So it's like alive. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like that's like the attention of love. Yeah. Like, and everybody was, all the producers too, they were all like super like in love with this project. So it's like people who love Star Wars, like making something, like no big studio people telling them.
Well, David Filoni loves Star Wars, but sometimes his output's not that great.
Yeah. I feel like there's distinct kinds of people.
What kind of Star Wars fan are you?
Who love Star Wars. Before Jake got here, we were in the living room talking, and we had I had the Mr. Plinkett Red Letter Media review of Phantom Menace going.
Wow. Isn't that like the 80th time you've watched that?
It never gets old. I love it every single time. It's so good.
Like technically, Star Wars has always been kind of almost immaculate at certain levels, like technically speaking, like visual, audio.
Oh, yeah, like
all
pushing
that
boundaries
kind of stuff.
and
It's
stuff.
the story.
But anyway,
yeah,
there was a section about lightsaber fights, and there's this whole montage. It was like, it's about this, not this, and it was like this that it's about was like, powerful moments from the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Like the aforementioned Yoda saying that's why you failed, and like Luke losing it in Return of the Jedi stuff, and like Darth Vader killing Obi-Wan in A New Hope. It's about this, not about, and then it juxtaposed scenes from the prequels of just like utter like mind-numbing, super high, fast-paced action. Like one of them was the final scene between Obi-Wan and Maul, and then another one was the opening of the duel between Grievous and Obi-Wan, where he's like twirling his lightsabers into the ground, stuff like that. So it was like, there's definitely two kinds of people who love Star Wars.
Okay, that makes me think, because Adelaide, like, is huge in Andor, and we were talking about Andor, and I was like, it's just so dry. Like, you really have to be a specific fan to really love and appreciate Andor, and or even think it's entertaining. Because I did not think it was entertaining. I thought it was very interesting, except for like the prison arc. That was pretty cool. But what's his name? Who made it? Hates lightsabers.
Oh, Tony Gilroy.
Yeah, he thinks they're dumb or something. And I'm like, what? And he hates the Force and everything. It's like, what?
Well, he wants to make a crime show.
I think that's such a huge, important part of Star Wars. And people were comparing Maul, Shadow Lord, to Andor. And I was like, wait, why are they comparing it? And I was like, wait a minute. It is kind of like that kind of level of quality, but it has a whole lot more action and lightsaber fights. So, like, in your face, director, what's his name who made?
All I know. So basically, what you're saying is you're the kind of person who prefers, as Mr. Plinkett put it so gracefully, the ball-numbing action that the series is known for.
I'm a 14-year-old boy inside David. I like to analyze fights. I like to go through slow-mo, and I like to see how they do them, like the choreography and stuff.
You should not.
I do it with Ninja Turtles and everything.
You should not watch The Last Jedi then, because the choreography is horrible in that.
I did watch The Last Jedi. I watched it multiple times.
Everything is horrible.
Yeah, there's a lot of horrible about that movie.
It's not about the lightsaber fights in that window.
It's not about
anything.
Yeah, it's not about anything in that movie.
Let the past die. Let it burn.
Let it burn.
It's funny.
They were not.
So speaking of the prequels, something I found out today while doing some research is apparently Lucas went to two directors. I mentioned this before we hit record, but there's two directors that Lucas went to before he greenlit, decided to do the prequel trilogy, and that was Robert Zemeckis and Steven Spielberg. And they both told him the same thing. George, you should do it.
Oh my God.
Why don't you just do it, George? And even in the behind the scenes throughout the years, whether it's Mr. Plinkett's review or watching stuff on the DVD of Phantom Menace, there's all these times where you see Lucas, and yes, he does get over his head. Yes, he kind of makes something where he can't fix. But there's also a sense of he wants to do it, but he also is kind of reluctant to. It's kind of like a Peter Jackson going to make the Hobbit movies.
I don't know if reluctance is his problem. He needed to be told no many more times.
Yes, we know why. Yeah, we know. But I just think that, especially as you get closer to the release of Phantom Menace and you see him in that viewing room with all the other people around him, and he's like, and he's like, well, there it is.
Yeah, because they know that what they've just created is a giant pile of dung, and they need to find a way to equivocate, to justify it to themselves so they can sell it to the public somehow.
Yeah, it did make a lot of money.
Well, only because people, like I said,
there's like the return of Star Wars.
People were excited for more Star Wars. See, I remember that time.
Me too.
I was like a mega Star Wars fan before Phantom Menace came out.
You're an OG.
And I was all into any Star Wars media I could get my hands on.
Yeah. All the books.
All the books. I had this weird Star Wars role-playing game.
Oh, cool. I think I know which one you're talking about.
It's called Star Wars Missions or something. And yeah, it was basically
it's like an old one, right?
Yeah, it was basically this series of novels that were kind of like choose your own adventure type things, and then they had very light sort of D&D-esque mechanics in them, so you would it would come with these cards, and each new release of it would come with more character cards, more weapon cards, more vehicle cards, and they had all these stats on them, and you would roll dice at the points in the story that you were instructed to.
That is so cool.
And depending on the outcome of the roll, it would either you would die, meaning you have to restart the story or restart the chapter, or
like a video game,
or you could fail the interaction or succeed in the interaction, and it would, depending on where it was in the story, it would tell you, okay, go to page this now, or go to page that now.
That's what makes it feel like the choose your own adventure too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was my mom bought me pretty much for, I don't know if I got all of them, but from the first one to a certain point, I literally got all of them, all the books, all the expansions.
You still have them?
I don't know.
Time to treasure
and
hunt.
I was obsessed with them. I was subscribed to like Star Wars magazines that would come
Oh,
in
that
the
is so
mail.
cool.
I would check out like Star Wars books at the library when we went there for at school. So I was
You were
obsessed
in
as
it.
Star Wars as I could possibly be. So I remember when Phantom Menace came out, I was just in love with it simply because I was a child who was obsessed with Star Wars and it was new Star Wars.
And I feel like the excitement at the time was it was exciting. It was huge. It was a big deal. Like literally every news station, every parody show, everybody. There were like a ton of Star Wars parodies happening at that time when it came out.
Like Star Wars, The Phantom Menace is so nostalgic for me. Like even though now that I understand how terrible the movie is, like I still get a kick out of watching it. There's
so much.
that much nostalgia for it that it overcomes my rational ability to see how just abysmally awful the movie is, and I could still have that feeling of, oh yeah, a kid finally getting more Star Wars movies after thinking there wasn't going to be any more.
So it looks like I'm looking on Wikipedia what like this was. Yeah, Star Wars missions. The future of the galaxy depends on you. There was 20 published books, a young readers series ranging from 97 to 99, and they were developed by a guy named David Leviathan who wrote most of the books and came up with the concept. But there's also a writer named Ryder Windham.
Oh, Ryder Windham.
Yeah, and he's written over 60 Star Wars books.
So
he's
he's written a bunch of other stuff too. I always saw like his stuff in the library. He's a fantasy writer.
So there was 20 books?
Yeah, 20 books.
Ryder Windham wrote
I might have had all of them then.
Yeah.
If I didn't have all of them, I had most of them.
That's crazy. That's cool. Yeah. I'll choose your adventures,
I wanted
right?
to mention something about what I realized while watching Maul and like his character type at this point in the show.
Mm-hmm.
And like I mentioned it when we were watching it, Jake, but how in Phantom Menace to now, like how different of a personality like how much he's grown and what his goals are and his, because in Phantom Menace he's 22 years old, I think, and his only goal his whole life he's been told one day we'll be able to kill the Jedi, and that's his only goal. He just wants to kill a Jedi, and he's just young and dumb, and and he goes through like literal hell.
So I'm confused
stuff.
About his age, because you said he's like in his late 20s in the show?
No. And he's 22 in Phantom Menace.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then it's 6-year gap between Phantom Menace and when they find him again in season 3 of Clone Wars.
Really?
I think. In this show, he's like 37.
What?
Yeah.
So wait, he's 37, but he was 22.
They say they said mid to late 30s.
So how old is Anakin or Darth Vader at this point?
So it's been Luke and Leia in A New Hope are 19. So 19 years old.
Yeah, they're teenagers, yeah.
And this is before that.
Anakin was 9 years old in Phantom Menace.
So
yeah, and then in Revenge of the Sith, what do you think, like 20s? Late 20s?
He was he was like in his mid to late 20s.
Revenge of the Sith?
In Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
Yeah. So then and this is 1 year after that.
Okay, so he's in his like late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah, and
then Anakin's in
there's
his
some
30s.
interesting things in the show that like
interesting.
Like show like his age. He thinks he can still do like crazy backflips and fight. The Inquisitors show up,
Darth Maul,
and he is not prepared to fight the Inquisitors. He is not. He thinks like I was trained by the greatest Sith Lord of all time.
Well, so are they.
And his like robotic knees are going out, and like and
he gets injured, David. It's not because of wear and tear. He gets injured. That's why they weren't.
I want to mention something funny. I watched Star Wars Explains on YouTube, and he was talking about it, and people were like, how can Maul, when he's older in Rebels, kill the Inquisitors? And when he's younger and stronger, he can't even fight two of them. And the guy at Star Wars Explains was like, I'm in my mid-30s and my knees snap, crackle, and pop all the time. It was like his explanation. It was funny. But also, like, he is limited on resources. Because it shows, like, the Zabrak's trying to fix his knee, and, like, they're having trouble doing it. They're in hiding, and stuff. But I wanted to mention a cool, like, parallel I noticed between him and Ahsoka.
Oh, okay.
Ahsoka's not in the show. I don't really like the character of Ahsoka, but
George Lucas thought so much of her that he
Dude,
included
they
her
push her
in the
so
movie.
much. I don't know. I don't get why she's so popular. Anyway, but so okay, Ahsoka's a gray Jedi, right?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
like
she
she
is
is
a good Jedi, yeah.
like legitimately a gray Jedi or whatever.
Oh, gray. I thought
Gray,
you meant she's
like
a
the color
great.
gray.
I thought you meant great. I was like,
A great?
oh.
Yeah, she's a great Jedi.
So what's your argument
Okay,
here? What's your
it's not an argument. It's
correlation?
a thing I noticed.
Okay.
So Maul is the dark side equivalent of Ahsoka in terms that he's a gray Sith. And here's how I figure it.
Okay.
So if you don't know a gray Jedi, you know what it is, right, David? Maybe not?
Yes.
It's basically quite.
Yeah.
I know what it is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I know what
So,
it is.
yeah.
Not
So, like,
race
they
color,
don't-
David.
They don't totally believe in like the Jedi code or whatever. They believe in letting the Force guide them and not what practice tells them to do or whatever. So both were raised in their beliefs. Maul with the Sith, Ahsoka with the Jedi. Both were betrayed by their upbringing in some way. Maul was treated as expendable pawn and he was destroyed, and Ahsoka was framed and accused by those who were supposed to protect her, right? Both of them went through a journey to discover themselves. Maul through power and manipulation, Ahsoka through helping those in need. And both have found balance in the middle of their respective sides of the Force. The dark side absolutely still leads Maul, and the light side, without a doubt, leads Ahsoka. But they are no longer relying on the knowledge of what they've been taught to them. Instead, they let the Force choose how they live. And in this show, Maul is letting the Force make his decisions, which is incredible character growth from where we first met him, like all those years ago. And how you see him do cool things too. Like the first time we see him in the show, he was in the shadows meditating, and Rook Cast, who was the last of the Mandalorian leaders who follow him, she goes up to him and she's like, "Did you have another vision?" And you're like, okay, is he lying about these visions? Because they keep talking about them, but I think he is actually having them. And she asked, like, that was stupid. We shouldn't do this. We should do that. And he wants to tempt the young apprentice. I must make her my apprentice. I saw it in my vision. She's like, my lord, I understand this is your goal. She's all like, but is it wise to do that? She's like, the Inquisitors are out there. The Empire showed up. This is not wise to be going and doing this, especially by yourself. And he goes off by himself or whatever. And he's like, stick to the plan. And you're like, okay, does he have something else in mind? Because he's like a master chess player or whatever too. And he thinks ahead. But it's just so cool to see. And when you see like the crash out episode with him in the show, like it works.
Oh, like where he's in the sewers.
Yeah, and he's like reliving every trauma happened to him and everything.
Yeah,
and you're like, this is what's happening. Like, this is crazy. And he's seeing himself as a young child we see for the first time on the TV. And I love
Baby
it.
Maul. Baby Maul. Oh my
yeah.
God. Baby Maul with the baby
And
horns.
it's like he's an abuse survivor. And then you think about it, every Sith is, because they torture their apprentices.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
Can only be two.
you know what? I wanna clear something up though.
Okay.
I
I'm
feel
rambling,
like
I'm sorry.
Are
I
you
feel
about
like
to go
the-
full Freddie Prinze
I
Jr.
feel
on
like
us?
there's some like shade being thrown at me.
What?
I'm not looking at you at all.
There's this assumption that like because I'm a curmudgeonly old man who hates new Star Wars media,
Yeah.
that I'm somehow that I'm lacking in Star Wars fan credentials or something.
I don't know about that.
Like you
No, you're
asked me
not.
if I knew what a gray Jedi was,
just don't
and
talk
Jake
about-
told me about a discussion that he had about somebody apparently concerned that they would spoil the ending of Solo to me.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that movie in theaters.
No, but you guys said in the
forgot,
podcast.
okay?
In the podcast,
I
Jake was like, "Oh, the
forgot.
movie I've yet to see," and you're like,
I-
"Yeah." So you agreed with him.
So I forgot that you went to go see it in theaters with us.
I saw that movie when it
was
came
also
out.
after Last Jedi, which was amazing.
Did you, like,
you went
remind
to go
him?
see with us. He reminded me that I.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Like-
Also, I gotta pause. I gotta tell us. I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but because you brought up Solo, David, I gotta tell you the story, ladies and gentlemen,
It's about your first viewing of it.
about our first viewing in theaters. And the spoil is at the end, by the way. We're in the theaters. I'm in between, I think, Matt, and then Heather's right on the other side of him, and then Connor's to my right. David and Steve and Alex are on the other side. So we're sitting down, and I'm like, "Oh, who's the head of the Crimson Dawn? Who is this guy? They just killed Paul Bettany. This is cool. Okay, what's going
Yeah,
on?"
Paul Bed.
And then, sure enough, the the hologram comes up from over the shoulder, and I'm like, oh shit. Oh, I think I know what's happening. And I start freaking out. Like I am visibly shaking. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, Matt. And he's like, what? And then eventually the reveal happens and it's Maul. And he's like, oh, and I was like, ah, and I'm freaking out.
Was he happy about it?
I'm freaking out so much that Matt is laughing at me because of how funny he thinks my reaction is, like, oh, like jumping up and down in my seat. And then like
a clown.
He's laughing at me, he, like tears are streaming down his face because of my reaction to Maul. I was so hyped because I never knew this was in the movie. I never got spoiled by it.
I think
and then
kudos to everybody who kept it quiet.
Because of him laughing and so much he's crying, then Heather starts laughing because Matt's laughing. And then Connor's on my right. And then Connor's on my right. And I'm like, Connor. And he's like, what? I don't get it. So anyway, sorry, David. I forgot you went to go see it solo with us.
I don't think I went with you guys.
What? I thought you went with us.
I'm pretty sure I went with
someone else.
You remember Christian?
Yeah. Oh, you went with, you guys went to go get.
I think I went to see it with him. He's also the one that I saw Force Awakens in theaters with.
That's right.
But I went to go see Last Jedi with you guys.
That was it. We went to go see Last Jedi with you, me, Matt, and Heather. That was it. All right, cool.
Not The Rise of Skywalker.
No, he skipped.
Y'all skipped it.
I've skipped that. I skipped that.
I was working,
but
I
already know what happens in the movie too.
Yeah.
Which, after finding out what happens in the movie, made me glad that I skipped it.
Feel like I dodged a bullet.
I am all the Sith. Well, I'm all the Jedi, bitch.
Okay. Final thoughts, Chelsea, on Shadow Lord.
Just to sell it a little more, Batman was inspired to help with like the crime stuff in the show. Yeah.
You mean
so head writer Matthew McKinovitz? VETZ.
Oh, you mean the show Gotham?
No, like the city, the character of Gotham. So head writer Matthew McKinovitz said that the main inspiration for the criminal life and the look of the city on Janix was Batman, and a crime thriller from 1995 called Heat with Alfred. No, Al Pacino.
Yeah, Al Pacino.
Is it?
Yeah, and De Niro.
Yeah, and De Niro. Yeah. Because the first two episodes, especially, Maul is spying on the criminal underlords. He's like poking them from the shadows, like metaphorically or whatever. It begins with a bank heist. Yeah. His team goes in and robs a bank of I don't know if you know what like the grand aliens are. They're like the three-eyed aliens. He's like the kingpin. He's like huge, and it's his bank. And he's like, "Who did this?" And they're like, "Oh, it must have been your rival or whatever." And they have like a Godfather like meeting, like with their respective like guys with them, and they do like the little like toast, and they're eating like chicken carbonara or something.
Chicken carbonara?
Oh, no, chicken parm. It looks like chicken parm. And then they do the whole thing where like a tray shows up on the table. They lift the tray, and it's the head of his droid from the bank. And I'm like, this is insane, and like, and there's a lot of car chase scenes.
There's a lot of good stuff.
Oh my gosh! Like me and Allie were like, this is like the Dark Knight. Like there's a lot of car chase scenes that look like the Dark Knight. Like,
don't oversell the show.
It's the truth. It's the truth. Look it up. The clips are on YouTube.
I think out of all because I've seen a lot of the animated media in Star Wars, this is toward the upper echelon of it. It's not like the best. I think some of the Rebel stuff, season 7 especially, is like the best.
Oh, Clone Wars.
Sorry, Clone Wars.
I was
Clone Wars. But and also Vision, something like that. But this is like up there.
I feel
this is like top
cinematography.
3.
No, what are you talking about?
I mean, you can
I can't believe
you
just said. I don't think the final season of Clone Wars relies heavily on what we already know. Like from Revenge of the Sith. We know Order 66 is going to happen.
Sure,
I don't care about Ahsoka. It's all about Ahsoka.
But here's the thing. That show did a really good job. Hey, we know what's happening. We know the bomb's going to go off.
Yeah.
When's it going to go off, and how are they going to handle it?
We've done it like and 25 million times already.
The way they handle it, kind of like as well as Jedi Fallen Order as well, which also handled it really well. Clone Wars Season 7 handled it immaculately well. And with characters with characters you cared about and had that build up, this is just one season, so it doesn't have that joy, or not joy, that reliance on it. And I feel like a lot of the characters, even though they're kind of fun, they're kind of hollow, and we don't get
What
a
are
whole
you
lot,
talking about?
especially with the Twi'lek chick. And which also I wanted to bring up that it's cool that the apprentice he's like trying to get to the dark side is a Twi'lek.
Yeah.
Because in the original concept for the sequel trilogy, Lucas wanted to bring in a concept of a red Twi'lek
He thought the
and
character
and Maul together to be the main antagonist.
He thought the character of Darth Talon from the Star Wars
Talon,
Legacy
yeah,
comics was a
yeah.
cool design
Yeah.
because she looks like him. She's red with like the black tattoos.
Yeah.
And he's like, that would be cool if they were like the main villains in a movie.
Yeah.
And Dave Filoni has been putting a lot of the ideas Lucas wanted to do
Yeah.
in all of his shows. So he brought back the spiritual like entities of the Force, right? The Ashla, the light side, Bogan, the dark side. And then after Disney bought Star Wars, they confirmed its truth because Bendu shows up and he's the one in the middle. He's the gray. That's who Kanan follows. That's who Ahsoka follows and stuff.
And Filoni
Those were all
also,
from like legends and like they were ideas that Lucas came up with.
Also, it's kind of interesting, like, this is super nerdy stuff, but Filoni has also, like, inadvertently mentioned the wills of the Force.
Yeah. Oh no,
which
they
was
don't
the
mention
main-
it. They have episodes of it. You don't
Oh,
remember the last
in
season
Rebels?
of the season 6 of Clone Wars, where Yoda goes on a journey.
Oh, that's yeah. So
He meets the
they
wills.
don't mention. They do talk about the wills of the
He-
Force,
he
which is
meets
super
them.
cool. Oh, I don't remember. I just remember it being super spiritual.
So
wills of
Qui-Gon
the Force.
contacts Yoda just briefly. This is the first time that the Jedi ever learned that you can exist in consciousness beyond death. Qui-Gon, the wills taught Qui-Gon how to do it.
Mm.
He's not strong enough yet to produce his like Force Ghost, though. He's just a voice.
Yeah.
He tells Yoda about it. He teaches Yoda about it. Yoda goes to like Dagobah for the first time. He meets
we
the
don't have to get
wills
into the
and
episode. We can just say yes. They talk about.
Yeah,
it.
he fights his evil self. You don't remember that?
And Yoda.
Yeah.
In Clone Wars. I was.
Season 6. You have to rewatch it.
Yeah, I have to rewatch.
He
There's some
meets
cool
the ghost
stuff.
of Darth Bane.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Even
I
though
remember
it's an
that
illusion,
part.
but
I remember
still,
that part.
I was happy.
Like, there's some cool stuff. So, but I
Yeah,
think
okay,
overall,
anyway,
Darth
yeah.
Maul. It's a cool show. I think we're gonna need a second season.
Jake's like,
for me
it's
to-
just okay,
I
guys.
think it's fine.
2.5
like, I'm
out of
trying
5
to look
stars.
at it objectively. Like, I liked it, but I don't like loved it.
It was everything I could ever have wanted
It had
as
all
a Maul
the,
fan.
It had all the ball numbing action you craved.
Yes.
Yes.
And I every week they released 2 episodes, and I rewatched all the episodes every time they were released, like over and over. I downloaded them on my phone. I put them on. I put the phone in my pocket. I just listened to them
Wow.
because I feel like what if I missed something? I
Well,
care about it.
That's cool. I mean, if you're that into it, that's awesome that you've been satiated.
Adelaide's like,
that
do you
way.
want to write like fan fiction from this? I was like, no, because I would make it worse.
Well, like,
So,
you were
I don't want to add to
so-
that.
You were so into the show. I'm like, we have to do we should probably do a podcast. And then
To quote
this.
Yoda, like, don't do it because once you start down the dark path, forever will it dominate your destiny.
like Stephanie Meyer.
Strong with the dark side.
All right. So, yeah, it was all right. I liked it.
My favorite quote from the show. Oh, Master Iko Diodaki is my favorite new character, by the way. Him and
I'm so surprised you know
Master
that name.
Ego Baga Boo Boo.
Yeah, what? That's
Iko
right, you know the
Diodaki.
name.
It's Allstate guy.
Oh, yeah, he's played by the Are You in Good Hands?
Are you in good hands?
Jake from State Farm.
No,
No.
no, the black guy.
I wrote down his name, but I can't remember what it is.
No, Allstate.
But
Like
He,
like the one Hawaiian
it's
singer who
Dennis
did Over the
something.
Rainbow, Israel Kaminoki Waki Waka Wuka Wuku.
no, Dennis Haysbert. That's his name.
Oh,
anyway,
man.
Maul meets them for the first time, and they have like a discussion on philosophy, kind of, and it's back and forth. And it's Maul's like, "Oh, you Jedi are weak because this," and Doki's like, "No, here's the truth." And they talk a little bit, and where is it? I wrote it down. It's badass.
It's
and-
badass.
And Doki tells him, after like arguing back and forth, he says, "Our powers are meant to only be used, or are meant to be used only into the service of others." And Maul says, "Look where that's gotten you. This is your power. Your unwillingness to use your power is what makes you weak." And Doki says, "That is your delusion." Maul pulls out his lightsaber, ignites it, and he's like, "Let us discover the truth." And then they all start fighting, and it's so cool. That's my favorite quote from the show.
And also, by the way, Sam Witwer, impeccable. He's so
is,
good.
Like,
He is so good.
he
as
is Maul. Like, this
Yeah, he
is
Maul.
crazy.
Yeah. So, okay. let's move on. We've covered
Yeah,
the
I'm all done.
past.
I'm all done
We
talking.
covered the present. Let's talk about the future here. This is what I got written up here. Bringing up the future. So Kathleen Kennedy's out.
Yeah.
As
she
of
fired.
January,
Ding dong, the witch is dead.
as of, let's see, what was it? It was, I have it right
I
here.
kind of agree.
January 15th, 2026, earlier this year, she's out. She's been replaced by two people, Dave Filoni and Lin-Win Brennan. They're co-CEO in this stuff, kind of like James Gunn and Peter Safran over at DC, what they're doing. Disney's like, hey, that's working out real good. Let's do that and kind of do this for Star Wars, see how this works out. You have Filoni being the more creative chief creative officer and Brevin serving as co-president. She's handling more of the business kind of thing. Filoni's kind of taking the James Gunn kind of role.
The creative.
And yeah, creative role. And
Well, you
Lin-Win
need
Brennan
that
is
in an
doing...
entertainment business. You need the creative and you need the business.
Yeah,
Walt Disney did
absolutely.
that. It was his brother Roy, right?
I believe so. And then Michael Eisner came in and they were all kind of involved. So, all right. So now for the future. So
Future.
I'm just going to go over real quick the current stuff that's actually in development in quotes, and then like also mention like what might happen. But let's start here. So first things first, these are the current projects in development as of May 2026 for the Star Wars brand. Here we go. Number 1, Mandalorian and Grogu, releasing in theaters May 22nd, 2026, in a few weeks, 11 days from this recording. Next year, we have Star Wars Starfighter, a film directed by Sean Levy and starring Ryan Gosling, releasing on May 28th, 2027. Wrapped principal photography and is now in post-production. Ahsoka Season 2 is now in post-production, filming wrapped already, confirmed by Dave Filoni at the Maul Shadow Lord premiere. Now, those are just the films. Let me get into some of the video games, because I think this is also kind of cool.
There's a lot of video games. What the
First
heck?
up, we have Star Wars Galactic Racer from Fuse Games, former devs of the Burnout franchise, releasing in October 6, 2026, so this fall. Star Wars Jedi 3, currently in active development from Respawn Entertainment, speculated to release in 2027, but we know for sure it is in development. Knights of the Old Republic remake officially announced in 2021. God, that was a long time ago.
Like not like a remaster.
Yes.
Like they're literally
No,
remaking
yeah,
it
they're
though?
remaking it, yeah.
Okay, but they're not like just
No, they're not
fixing
doing a
some of
fresh
the
coat of
visuals or
paint. They're
something?
remaking the game.
Oh.
Officially announced in 2021 from devs at Aspire, originally a PlayStation exclusive. After much storied and reported development hell, the title is now being fully developed at Saber Interactive. Their credits include an amalgamation of games, especially recently, but their most recent projects are stuff from, such as Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, World War Z, and Jared Carpenter's Toxic Commando, which I believe came out last month. That game was basically Aspire made a vertical slice of the game, and it was very mid to low budget. And what they had and what the concept was, they presented it to Lucasfilm and EA, I believe, and PlayStation, and it did not get received very well. About a week after they presented it to the executives, the head of the game left the company.
Whoa.
So then it was kind of gathered together. Aspire went through some other things, and now Saber Interactive is now in charge of
They
it.
single-handedly made the CEO quit.
Yeah. This is also in chronological order and think of what's going to be released. So we probably will get that in some a year or two, maybe 2 years. We'll see. They have confirmed it's in active development at Saber. Fate of the Old Republic announced December 2025 from Argonaut Studios, a new studio led by Casey Hudson of BioWare fame, along with some BioWare alumni. Most recently announced was Dan Fassenden, who's going to be senior technical designer. He was also designer on Knights of the Old Republic and Mass Effect. Melanie Faulkner, who worked on Mass Effect 3, Dragon Age 2, and Inquisition as director. She's the director of external development. Caroline Livingstone, she worked on games such as Neverwinter Nights, KOTOR, Mass Effect, Dragon Age. She's a production performance. Ryan Hoyle, also Knights of the Old Republic, and the whole Mass Effect trilogy. He's the technical officer. And you have Pascal Blanchet, Myst 4, Revelation, RuneScape, and Far Cry New Dawn. He is the art director, which I think that would be kind of dope. So the last game I'll mention, and this is just like, okay, this is like might happen. This will transition us into what might happen. Star Wars Eclipse, as title announced in 2021 from Quantic Dream, the devs behind the titles such as Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, and Detroit Become Human. The studio has stayed quiet since the announcement, but reports are coming out over the last 5 years that the studio has been through multiple restructurings and layoffs. So,
Speaking of games, You know what I really want to see?
What do you want to see, David?
I really want to see like a Republic Commando style game, but like set in the Empire.
You want Imperial Commando.
That's exactly what I want.
Yeah.
Like
that'd be dope.
Where
Republic
would you...
Commando style gameplay, but just with more punch, more visual fidelity,
Ooh.
little more meat to the game in terms of like, you know, the story and the multiplayer and all that. But like, yeah, I would love to see, because Republic Commando is a cool game. I haven't played it, but I've seen clips of
it's
it.
a cool ass game.
Started replaying it a couple nights ago. It was on the Xbox. We bought it or something, but it had the little like Xbox symbol, like the original. And we're like, oh, do we need the disc? And she went to it and clicked it, and it stood there loading forever. And we're like, and I was like, well, let me see if I have it. She's like, I know I have it somewhere, and if I don't, I give it to Jake or whatever. And then it just starts up, and it's like, press start, and we're like, oh, cool. It just let us start playing it. So that was cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool game. It's a really cool game, but it was kind of like, it's kind of flawed from like a technical perspective. So I would really love
it's very limited.
I would really love to see like the gameplay ideas make their way into a much more fully realized game.
What's funny is I think Halo 5 Guardians had the same like design directors of those games, mostly focusing on 4-player co-op.
It feels like Halo.
But Halo 5 didn't really deliver on that kind of fantasy. Also, it was, you know, other
It's
issues
Halo,
as well.
I mean.
So I would love to see an Imperial Commando. Like,
how do you think they would do it, like story wise? What team would
I feel like it would, you would have to be, you would be stormtroopers, and you would be like elite, like special forces,
like dark troopers or something.
Dark troopers.
In like you know, your like 4-man squad, and you would be because you know, at this, you know, past the birth of the Empire and past A New Hope, you know, the Empire's forces had really been, like, clone forces had really been replaced by volunteers and conscripts. So like right there you have an opportunity for some like more characterization, because they don't have to be clone troopers.
They don't have to all sound like what's his name?
The Aussie dude or the Kiwi
guy.
Dude.
The dude who I will never forgive because George Lucas put his voice in Empire.
Oh yeah, as Boba Fett.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
I'm gonna look it up because me and Adam were talking about him the other day.
While you look that up.
So in canon, I think they kept it. They have Vader's fist, and it's 5 battalions or groups of stormtroopers personally for him.
Oh.
And he does his missions with them. Like they're his
crew.
They're like his heavy fire if he goes to invade a planet or whatever. So you could use them.
Yeah.
But maybe they could be like different than regular stormtroopers.
I would think that you would do something like, it's just as you said, David, and you could have a squad that is purposely deconstructing and destroying sects of the Republic that are left over. And if they do encounter Jedi, it would be cool to get a scenario like in a mission, like maybe a mission or two into the game, where they go to the planet, they, you know, root out some of the Republic, like leftover, like dependents, system, like in the Republic systems. And as they're doing that, they encounter a Jedi, and they're like, "Ah, shit, we got to call in Inquisitors now. I hate working with those guys." And it's like you could do something
they would
like
say
that,
it just like that,
and it would be just so dope to like
Tamir Morrison.
Tamir Morrison, and I like Tamir Morrison.
I love him.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with him personally. I just am
idea.
always irked every time I think about him because his voice does not belong in Empire.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that? With them replacing Anakin with Darth Vader in the end of Return?
Hated that.
You don't want the bald middle-aged man?
No,
do you want the bald middle-aged man?
I do want the bald middle-aged man.
No, like he shows up as the Force Ghost in the end instead of what's his name.
I feel like it's better if you do
that's what I'm talking about. I hate that they did that.
I think Hayden Christensen just doesn't fit.
The dude who played Anakin's Force Ghost in the original cut of Jedi died shortly after the movie came out.
Holy!
Really?
Oh my gosh!
Like I believe that is his final film role.
Did he die of the dark side?
Not funny.
But Lucasfilm was like, yeah, we're just gonna
Yeah, we don't need him no more.
just erase his final role. Who cares about this guy?
Yeah. I feel like, what were we talking about when, me and you were talking about the rumors, Chelsea. The reason why I brought those up in the text, and I'm not going to go over them, but the reason I brought them up is because I looked at those and I was like, they're just rumors, but I think honestly, those are just copium from fans because we're under new leadership. Like copium, whatever you want to call it.
Open the doors for Mara Jade to come back.
Oh, but they might do the timeline reset. And that's like, guys, just
Copium is the word you're looking for.
Yeah, I just feel like
copium is when everything goes wrong and you're trying to explain how it's totally not a bad thing, even though
you're in denial.
So I think that's what, and we can get into more into games if you guys want, but what I would love to see is I hope this KOTOR remake is competent, knowing of the quality Saber Interactive has done with Space Marine 2 especially, and how gamey that game is. And
as long as it's not in Unreal 5.
Well, we'll see. I don't know. I think they are heavily involved in that. But they are a very competent studio with a lot of support studios. They've done good game after good game. They're not like AAA or anything, but they're pretty much setting that bar of like good AA quality. Like Space Marine 2 is, from what I hear, an immaculate game and a very fun game at that. It's basically like a third person, like World War Z level of zombies, but with aliens. And you're the Space Marines, and you have, for the Emperor, or the Imperial, whatever force, in the universe. And it was a good ass game. It was a good ass game.
It's just a reskin of like Wolfenstein or something.
No. This is a third person melee shooter. It was awesome from what I hear. But to knowing that they have good gaming chops, mechanically, I think the remake could add some cool things. But it's kind of weird because you're like, they're the ones in charge of it, not like an RPG.
Hitting the attack button.
Not Set Project, not the Baldur's Gate 3 devs, Larian Studios, like no RPG studios in charge of this, but it's a studio that does mostly shooter games. So there's that.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yes, Space Marine 2 looked cool, but like Knights of the Old Republic is a turn-based RPG.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you would hope that they would have gotten a studio that's used to working on that kind of thing.
Has anyone played seen anyone play the Old Republic online game?
No.
I totally forgot this came out.
I played it briefly back in the day. It's
What is like the gameplay? Is it still turn based?
It's
like walking up and whacking people.
It's kind of like more action oriented World of Warcraft.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not really an RPG necessarily. It's more just an MMO, but
it's still being supported today.
I was
like, I want to kind of hop on it. And
it wasn't too bad from what I remember. I'm not gonna say it's like the greatest game of all time, but I did enjoy it for a short time.
Was it better than like what you might expect? Like
it was better than what I was expecting, because at the time of its release, it got a lot of hate, and then it got to the point where it just became straight up free to play.
Yeah,
and then they kind of did a little bit of work on it, perked it up just a little bit. So by the time I got to it, it was already free to play, and it was pretty decent.
Because like I saw it on Steam and I was like, I could click that right now and download it.
Yeah,
but I have limited space, so I was trying to finish replaying Force Unleashed, which I don't know why it's like 40 gigs. And then I downloaded Jedi Survivor.
Yeah, it's pretty decent, but it's nothing mind blowing. Like if you're looking for an MMO to jump into, sure, why not? But if you're, unless you are looking for a MMO to jump into, is probably not going to blow your mind.
My man Malgus got his own cinematic trailer. So
Mommy Malgus. Ooh, let's keep going on. The coolest part. All right, so we can go back to games if we want, but I do want to get through this. This is what might happen. These are listed, but I'm just going to go through them real quick. These are 3 projects that were announced during the Kathleen Kennedy era, and we have received no updates since then. I took the lesser ones off, and these are the ones that I guess could happen, but here's what
Are people still talking about them?
No.
Oh.
So here we go. James Mangold's, well, these are actually, yes, these are the ones that did get an update. But
because they got new leadership now, right?
Barely an update, yeah. James Mangold's film Dawn of the Jedi, 2023. Indiana Jones 5 director, also of Ford
He
versus
did
Ferrari
Wolverine
fame,
too, right?
and Wolverine and Logan.
Logan, yeah.
James Mangold was set to be working on a film that will be set thousands of years in the past, focusing on the first Jedi. And this is a quote from him. Part of the quote was this. He says, in quote, "I thought about a biblical epic like the Ten Commandments, but the dawning of the Force. Where did the Force come from? When did we discover it? When did we learn how to use it?"
He literally titled it Dawn of the Jedi. That was one of like the Legends stories before Disney bought Star Wars. That was in 2012 or something like that.
Yeah, it was
when
a
it
comic
was
series.
released.
Was it a comic series?
There was a comic book and there was a novel, I think. And I want to read them because I'm really enjoying Legacy, which is a sequel like 300 years later of Return of the Jedi. This would be at the beginning of time.
Yeah, this is even, I think the timeline, this is set before even the Older Republic. So this would be like 10,000 years before Phantom Menace.
Because the legend, like, it would confirm what we all have questions about. Like, where did the Force come from? Because in Legends, it made total sense. I don't know why they had to change it.
Well, just so you guys know, George Lucas was the last blockade of what was canon and what wasn't. And a lot of the books, he even stated this later after he sold to Disney, all the books were in its own separate universe compared to the movies.
Right. Okay. I heard about people were like, oh, there's different timelines because of the book.
Yeah,
so I was like, what? Like, this is not Marvel. Okay. Like,
well, let me get through, because that's the one I think that might happen the most is this Mangold thing. But he's doing other biopics.
That sounds the most interesting to me.
It does sound cool. Will it ever happen? Who knows? Here's the next two that I know will not happen. Simon Kinberg trilogy, famed director of X-Men Dark Phoenix, and screenwriter and creator of Star Wars Rebels, was greenlit to do a new trilogy involving the official continuation of the Star Wars saga, episodes 10 through 12. We have received no update has been given since this announcement.
It would literally just be a continuation to Rebels, which Ahsoka already is.
Same thing. Speaking of Ahsoka, Dave Filoni had a Star Wars film announced back in 2023, along with James Mangold at a Star Wars celebration. The next person on stage was Dave himself, announcing that he's also doing a Star Wars film. And no details were given, only that Filoni was excited, and it's set in the New Republic era, or also known as the Mando era. And this was also announced before the inception or conception of Mando and Grogu film.
Because that's basically what The Mandalorian and Grogu is.
Yeah, basically.
Isn't he? Yeah. It's Jon Favreau directs it?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So it's like,
when I look it up online, everybody's saying it's Dave Filoni's movie.
Nope, it's not. It's Favreau. It's both.
It's
just like the show. But yeah, I have other stuff written here, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. Like, we had news that Steven Soderbergh was making a Hunt for Ben Solo film.
Okay, that was the one that I actually heard people talking about.
Taika Waititi was going to do a whole trilogy, but who knows if that's ever going to happen. And then they were going to do a Rey film, which we know is probably never going to happen.
Secretly, they finished it, but they canned it like Batgirl.
Last thing I have for you guys. Here's some fun thing I found. Here's some directors that were approached before J.J. Abrams to direct The Force Awakens. And those were directors were in order: Brad Bird, Matthew Vaughn, who did the Kingsman films, David Fincher. They all said no. Of course they did. And then J.J. denied it once and then twice, and then they got him on the third try.
Once, twice, 3 times a lady.
There you go. That's pretty much all I got for what's currently happening in the universe. Where do you guys want to go with this? You want to go video games, films? What do you guys want to see going forward? We have new leadership from Filoni
I
and
was
the other
telling
chick.
David before you literally walked
Chelsea?
in the door.
What do you want?
I want the twins back. What? And I want Jason and Jana, and I want Mara back. Because you know how you like approached us about the concept of a sequel Star Wars film if they didn't make Force Awakens? It was like a what if idea you came up with. And
like rewriting the trilogy?
Yeah, like our own trilogy. And mine was like Mara has to be in it and Jason and Jana have to be in it. And I was like, how would you work that in?
Literally just adapt Heir to the Empire.
Literally just adapt Heir to the Empire.
I want that to happen so bad. I want them to wipe the slate clean, say it was all Luke Skywalker's pizza dream.
David, we're getting an Ahsoka season 2. We're getting an Heir to the Empire adaptation. What are you talking about?
But Lars Mikkelsen has to play Thrawn because he did amazing.
I didn't finish Ahsoka season 1, but I watched 7 out of 8 episodes. and I was not a
Okay,
fan
not in
of
Ahsoka. I mean
Mads
in Rebels.
Mikkelsen.
I was really disappointed with what they did in
I
Ahsoka.
think him physically representing.
I know. Why didn't the makeup department like shape his face to look like Thrawn? They literally just painted his face. He doesn't look like him.
He looks like just an old man.
He's
in
trying his
makeup,
best.
and he doesn't
He's
look like
trying
a
his best.
menacing, evil
He's shorter than everybody else.
imperial general. He doesn't look.
I
like
love
that at
his.
all.
He did an amazing job in Rebels. Like that. He
Sure.
made it come to life.
Yeah, and it's cool
And
that
in this,
Filoni-
then I watched Ahsoka and I was like,
what
"That's
is this?
not. That's a different actor, right? That's
No, it's
what?"
Mads
And then,
Mikkelsen. That's
it was
the guy from House of Cards,
it
ladies and gentlemen,
hurt,
as
man.
Putin. So
That one hurt. That one hurt.
yeah. So David, you just want straight up heir to the Empire.
Oh yes, I want the Luke Skywalker pizza dream. Mara Jade,
Every time you say it,
where Mara Jade he's like
Shakes him
tossing and turning in bed, and
It's like
Mara
Anakin
Jade
in
like,
Attack of the Clones.
and Mara Jade shakes him awake. He's like, oh no. I want that so
right,
bad.
all
every
right.
time you say Pizza Dream, I think
Okay.
of like Pizza the Hut,
I
and the
don't-
guy's like, "You taste so good, master."
Okay, so David, I want to know who would you cast as some of these? Because we're recasting Luke and Mara and all these people. Who would you cast?
Who's
Do you have any
relevant?
idea at all?
Let's see. I haven't really even thought about it.
Yeah.
When you have to think about who's like relevant,
because
or would you just pick all new actors? Like,
Because they're like, how many years is this after Return?
I think this takes place. I
Google
think
it.
Luke would be in his late 30s to early 40s.
yeah, he's not that old from
Okay,
Return.
okay.
So definitely Mark Hamill's out.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, Mark Hamill's way too
You
old.
get the deep fake.
Can he
Luke
voice a droid,
Skywalker.
though? Let's get him to voice something.
I mean, Mark Hamill could definitely do some voices. Yeah,
Should
but
he
like,
voice Thrawn?
No,
that?
no,
I think
no.
I think that could be cool.
His
That
actually.
could
voice
be
is too
cool.
cartoony.
No, it's
Joker.
That's cartoony.
Have you heard his
you've
impression
heard his
of Harrison Ford?
Oh my god.
I have. I
He's
have.
So
like-
good.
Mark Hamill is an excellent. Mark Hamill would be great as Thrawn. They would just have to do a CG Thrawn,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
would be really weird.
That
then
would be wrong. That'd be like Grand Moff Tarkin in a Rogue
In
One,
Rogue One.
basically.
yeah, I'd much rather have somebody who kind of
Keep looking at
looks
his
like
lips.
who kind of looks like I'm actually thinking of an actor right now who I
Mm.
think would be a good Thrawn, but I can't think of what his name is.
Do you remember what he was in?
I
Yeah.
can't. I also can't think of what he was
You're like,
in.
I see the face.
He has he's kind of older.
Cillian Murphy, David,
Maybe.
as Thrawn.
But the one I'm thinking of is he's in. Oh my God, what is he in? He's. Gosh darn it. what is he?
In Heir to the Empire, it's only been 5 years since Return of the Jedi.
Okay,
So it's like pretty recent.
Okay.
Yeah.
all right.
Oh, you know what? Actually, Mark Hamill as the dark Jedi clone.
Oh, that would be cool. Like the
That
Shadow
would be
Link version
cool.
of
That would be dope.
Just have Mark Hamill
do
be
the
an
evil voice and everything.
totally insane, psychotic Jedi clone. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
That'd be dope.
I don't remember his name though. The old dude.
Jorus?
Yeah,
Jorus?
Joris.
Joris, that was it. Yeah.
In the story, there's two O's in the clone's name because he spells his name different to differentiate himself from the guy he was a clone of.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
Yeah, so there's 2 U's in
Like
it
a
or something.
bizarro Superman kind of thing.
So so I think the old clone or the old Jedi was named Jorus, and then the clone puts an extra U in his name or something that.
Dude, Mark Hamill would murder this role. Look at this guy. He's
Yeah,
got lightning
he's-
coming
Yeah,
out fingers
he's
and
pretty
everything.
powerful too.
That's dope.
Yeah,
And he tries to be Luke's master or whatever.
yeah,
He was
yeah.
doing it to
Awesome.
try and get
Mark
close
Hamill
to
is that
what's his
guy?
name.
But I'm trying to, the guy I'm thinking of. He in a lot of roles he's kind of older, not ancient, but he's a little on the older side. He always has slicked back hair, slicked back black hair.
Hmm.
Oh, are you talking about John Hamm from Mad Men?
I think so.
Oh,
John
he
Hamm?
would be cool.
Show,
as- yeah, John Hamm.
What,
bring
as
that
the
up.
Ron?
Bring
that up.
Bring a
John-
picture of it so I
John
can
Hamm, I'm doing it.
so I can confirm.
That's a funny picture. He's like, He's a nerd too. He would love being in Star
Okay.
Wars.
Yes, that guy.
John Hamm. That'd be
Yes,
dope.
that guy. That's the
That's
one.
a good one.
That'd be
Good
cool.
one.
That's the one.
He's dope. I would love to see him.
Yeah,
Also,
he
who
he
else?
respects the nerds because he is
I haven't
one.
seen-
He was in Transformers, the latest animated movie, as Sentinel Prime, and he did immaculate. in
Okay,
that.
so if we're gonna have John Hamm as Thrawn, I want Jeffrey D. Morgan as Joris. That's what I would like.
Hmm.
Because
Wait,
that
who's
he has that
Jeffrey D.
old
Morgan?
man crazy energy, and he was Negan, so he can channel that.
Oh yeah. I think he
So,
could be good too.
Yeah. You know who I want as Mara Jade?
Who?
Mm.
Karen Gillian.
Which one? Is
She was Nebula in Avengers and also in Guardians of the Galaxy.
She could do
and
it.
she's a redhead. She was also. In
I'm
the
thinking. I'm
Jumanji-
seeing her
the
face.
new
She
Jumanji
was.
movies as well.
She was Amy. I think her name was Amy in Doctor Who.
Yeah, she was Amy in Doctor
Yeah.
Who. Yeah, with Matt Smith. Yeah.
I'm thinking about her face. Maybe.
the chick who was Wanda or whatever in WandaVision.
Elizabeth Olsen.
She might be.
She,
a
yeah,
good
that
fit.
could work. Yeah, Mara Jade.
I don't really like her.
Okay, well, who would you cast as Mara Jade?
That's a tough. I feel like I can't cast any. It would have to be. I think New Blood would be better. Like, you know how they did it in Star Wars, and they got the what Harrison Ford was like the only big actor at the time in
Somewhat big
New
actor,
Hope.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have Alec Guinness, obviously.
Well, yeah, Sir Alec Guinness.
Well, here's a thought, because I've seen, the body double they use for Luke in The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett with the CGI face, the double they have for him actually looks like Mark Hamill.
Yeah,
Like when he's all in the dress up and everything, he actually looks like him, and he does a good job performing as him.
I really enjoyed that.
And
I was like,
I think if you
this is
can
done
get
right.
him, or if you want to do the fan cast like you see online, like Sebastian Stan as Luke, which could work, I guess. But yeah, also get what's her name, who is the daughter of Carrie Fisher, as Leia. Get her as Leia.
She doesn't look like her.
It doesn't have to look exactly like her.
She doesn't look like her.
John Hamm doesn't look just like Thrawn, but he looks like an old man.
No,
that can
he's
pull it
got
off.
he's got the cheekbones.
I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know.
that was.
See, like that.
that was one
would
thing.
be
He's got
if you
the-
painted that face blue.
Yeah,
Painted that face
he's got
blue.
the facial structure, and he's got the demeanor
Mm.
that
Yeah.
can pull off. That I think he could pull off.
Shave off
Thrawn
the
very
eyebrows.
Shave up the eyebrows.
Yeah.
They're gonna do makeup on his face.
No, I think
and do
I think
CGI,
Thrawn has
but-
eyebrows.
But yeah, I think you could do a lot of cool things if you do an Heir to the Empire
Ooh, that
adaptation,
face.
for sure.
The dude who did Indy in the Great Circle game.
Oh, Troy Baker.
Yeah, he could
Oh,
do
yeah.
a little bit of makeup on him. He could probably pull off a Han Solo.
Oh man, I would love that. That'd be so cool. Dude.
Wait, does Troy Baker sound like him? Because I haven't played that one.
Oh, he
Yeah, the
he
voice
nails
sounds
it.
scarily like
he
him.
nails it.
He's
the
so
voice.
good.
Okay. I was gonna
But
say my
he's
favorite sounded like is
also
Keith
in
Ferguson,
his
but he doesn't look
50s
like him.
now. I don't
Yeah, I mean,
know.
you could still make it work because Han Solo
Yeah.
would be older at this point in the
That's-
story anyway.
That's a good point. Yeah.
5 years older,
Well, he would be like,
but he was kind of older than all the other.
yeah,
characters,
Han
yeah.
Solo was the older character among the main cast anyway.
Yeah.
So like you could make him up to make him look like he's in his 40s, and that would be the correct age range.
Mm,
Yeah.
You could do that. Yeah.
Jake wants a Watto movie. I always wanted to know the story of Watto.
Slave trade.
You know what?
like this
You
whole
know what?
epic
You
story
know
before
what
you
you
got there.
need. You know what you need is you need a Darth Jar Jar movie
Oh,
where
Watto's is
where Watto's his apprentice, and he
apprentice. What?
Jar Jar reveals that he's been the Dark Lord of the Sith behind everything the whole time. And he recruits like Watto's son or something that's
His son,
force
yeah.
sensitive, and he recruits him.
Did you know the
Wow.
the Lego specials did that?
Yeah, they did.
They just went with
brought
it.
Jar
They're
Jar
memes. So they were
Yeah.
like Jar Jar, and he's
Oh,
like,
evil
he's a
Sith
dark
Lord.
Jar Jar. And
Dark
they
Jar
made a
Jar,
model
yeah.
and everything. It's like,
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, Heir to the Empire would be dope. That'd be
I
so
want to
cool.
see. Okay, the beginning of the Force would be hecka cool to me.
It's funny, like I say Heir to the Empire would be cool, and I just said I'm getting tired of the Imperial
Yeah.
Guard."
Okay. What the heck?
But like Heir to the Empire is
But
so
this
dope.
is like done right. This is episode 7. What I would like if we were in another universe rewriting the Star Wars trilogy.
in another universe.
Shout out to Last Stand Media. They did a whole couple episodes of just rewriting the sequel trilogy, and let's see. Colin Moriarty's brother, Dagan Moriarty, they each rewrote and told their own version. And in Dagan's version, like, Luke and Leia and all of them, they all have kids, and they're all like little kids. Like, they're like 9 to like 15 years old, like age
That's
range.
not that little.
Like, well, like little kids, like maybe like they have a pair of twins that are like 6 or like 8 years old or whatever. And they're like imbued with the Force, and like they're very Force sensitive. And like, it's all about the family trying to escape and survive in a galaxy that's trying to bring the Empire's trying to come back. And there's some cool things you can do with the Force.
That's what the First Order was trying to do.
Yeah, but like there's so many, like I would love that. Like I would just love to have more kids involved in general. But then again, you look
Young
at Star
Jedi
Wars
Adventures
historically,
would be cool.
sometimes the kids don't turn out that great, like Anakin, But I feel like you can make it work. I mean, look at Avatar, Fire and Ash, and Way of Water. That's basically, I've been telling you guys all this forever, but that's what I wanted the sequel trilogy to be, was them and a Skywalker family running away and having to deal with all this stuff.
Yeah, see, that would be too wholesome and cool. And so
it would be too wholesome.
And they just wouldn't have gone with that. Yeah, I would. It would
just
be
brings
cool.
a new dynamic. That's cool.
It would be cool to see like maybe not like a movie per se, but maybe like an animated thing where it's like
a miniseries?
Adapting like the Young Jedi series.
See, yeah, that's when you said kids. Yeah.
Where it's like Luke training
Jaina and Jason.
Yes, and a
bunch of other kids.
Yeah, a
too.
bunch of other kids on Yavin in the old Jedi temple.
That'd be
Which book? It was after the trilogy, and the kids are like 5 years old or something, and it's the Luke starting it up. It was like a duology or something, and I really enjoyed that one, but I can't remember what it was called.
I don't know. The one I'm talking about was a whole book series.
It was like they were teenagers or whatever. Right?
It was called Young Jedi.
Yeah, the Young
Jedi
Jedi
Adventures
Academy or whatever, or Young Jedi Adventures.
So,
yeah.
You know what I would want though? Like, this is cool, but what I really want is the Old Republic. Like, I want to go to that time period.
Like,
we don't have to adapt exactly Knights of the Old Republic, but I just want that era.
Oh, speaking of that era, you know what I'd love to see is the Exar Kun story adapted.
Oh man!
Okay.
Oh man! Cool. Oh, dude, that'd be dope. I'm sorry, I know the lore from Knights of the Republic with that specifically is so interesting.
And I'd love to see too, jumping back forward in time. I'd love to see the plot, the Exar Kun Luke Skywalker confrontation that happened in a particular book trilogy whose name I can't remember, like stapled, like that story, like stapled as the finale of like a Young Jedi type series.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Because that would be super cool, because like it's a super cool idea for the plot. It's just that particular book trilogy was so boring and I could barely get through it. But yeah, I would like to see like that plot point, like that plot structure recycled into something like, but used in material that's actually good.
Yeah, well, yeah, that'd be dope. I was telling Adelaide the other day, I was like, dude, I just want, like, if you could get me an interpretation of Knights of the Republic, Candace Oro character. There's also so many great characters.
The Mandalorian guy.
Especially when you get into like KOTOR 2 and the whole deconstruction of the Force and the belief of the Jedi.
See, that's what I want.
The gray Jedi concept. Like KOTOR 2 is so like the whole Kira character with Mandalore character, which, there's spoilers there. But to get the story of Candace Oro, this Mandalorian bounty hunter who doesn't wear the armor anymore. He doesn't.
He's basically the Punisher.
He's basically the Punisher in Star Wars. And like the stories he would tell you in the game are so, like, for me as a kid playing those was so dope because he tells his war stories and you're just listening to him through the dialogue, and it's, it's crappy graphics or whatever, but just the story they wrote for him to tell is awesome. Like, there's the story that's so vivid in my mind of them invading a certain planet. Mandalore's invading a whole planet. And this is during the time they're at war with the Jedi and everything. But as they're invading, they're trying to go into the atmosphere. Like these ships are crashing down. He goes onto a transport ship that goes into another enemy ship, and he somehow they're in the upper atmosphere at this point, and he grabs onto a droid. And he jumps out of the ship as it's exploding or whatever, and he's diving down into the atmosphere, riding onto this droid.
He's surfing on it.
Surfing on it as he's falling to the atmosphere, and then he activates his jetpack before he gets to the ground. Like, I'm like, dude, like, just... Like, it doesn't even have to be an episode of a show or a scene in a movie, but just give me, like, give me a small scene of just what that would look like.
That sounds like what, like... a retired vet would be like, I did it all by myself.
Vet. Yeah.
I was the last one.
Yeah, you have him as a retired vet, and you have like Jolie Bendo, like
Mace Windu, basically.
Yeah, well, he's the Great Jedi, and that's in the first.
I
game
mean, he's
how
way more
introduced. So.
You know what would be really cool to see is like some kind of like Mandalorian type game, but it's like, you know, like almost like Vietnam.
Oh, dude!
Like
it's a Jedi.
Like,
cool.
Like he's like no, some kind of like survival horror thing where it's like he was part of like, you know, a squad or something of Mandalorian warriors, and something bad happened, and he's the only one left.
Well, like Predator Badlands, but
and
with
he's like,
Mandalorians.
and he's just like surviving the horrors of this alien planet. And you know, it's like, you know, I imagine some kind of like, you know, like some kind of like immersive sim light kind of gameplay.
Far Cry elements, you know?
Yeah, kind of thing.
That would be really cool.
Like almost like an open world BioShock kind of thing.
Yeah.
Did you know they made speaking of books, did you know they made like Goosebumps style books but Star Wars?
No.
It's called Galaxy of Fear. I bought them all. I found them all on eBay. I actually enjoyed them a lot. They're not that far-fetched. Right. It follows like these two kids and their dad who's a scientist. The dad gets kidnapped. They're trying to find him. And this old guy who's with him. And every book is a different like obstacle, like the fear of the dark or fear of being hunted or fear of claustrophobia. You know, it's interesting. And the covers, if you look up the covers, totally Goosebumps. Trying to be Goosebumps.
That's funny.
You could do they made that Goosebumps series on Disney Plus. You could do that, but Star Wars, but better.
You know what? I know that Star Wars in this new era tried the High Republic, where the Republic's at its height.
Dude, they
literally
ruined that so bad.
Like the opportunity and the fact that they're like, well, if this is good, then we can make movies.
Yeah, their money is in those books. Those books sold like crazy.
Well, also, it's kind of sucks because you had one show based on that era, and that
you
was
had one job.
That was the Acolyte. And that was a garbage heap. So it's like, it was kind of a failure, but like, go to the Old Republic. The Old Republic era is the Wild West of Star Wars.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the Empire era as well. Like, those are both kind of Western-y kind of settings. So give me...
Well, that's what's cool about the Old Republic. You get equal amounts of Jedi and Sith at the same time. And they're always warring with each other.
Yeah, they're always warring. There's always the balanced structure. There's also vibroblades. You got...
old tech. Old tech would be kind of cool.
You got Mandalorians at war with a Jedi at one moment in time. Like, there's so, like, the Exar Kun stuff, David. Like, there's so much you could do. There's so much lore you can pull.
I know they kind of, like, erased Bane's story. It would just be cool to see. They did because, I mean, they haven't replaced it with anything. They just haven't confirmed that it's actually canon.
Not Malgus, Bane.
Bane, who created the Rule of Two.
Okay. Also,
the thought bomb and everything.
In characters like Malgus and really get him involved.
I like Malgus.
But that means you have to bring in Revan, Bastila. That means you have to bring all those guys in too.
You don't have to.
I know, but man, that's so cool. But
well,
anyway.
didn't the Old Republic, the online game, it had like Malgus and all the other guys
Malgus and Revan in it,
without. I don't think Bastila and them were in it.
Yeah, they were.
I don't know about Bastila in the Old Republic.
I don't know about Bastila. I don't know about Bastila, but definitely Revan was. Because I actually read the book.
She's like the main character.
I read the book that was supposed to be KOTOR 3, and the ending sucked ass. It was bad.
I tried to read like the Old Republic book for Revan, and I don't remember anything in it.
Yeah, that's the one I read. It's called Revan. And I remember I tried to keep it a secret when I got it from Adelaide. When I got it, I tried to keep it a secret from Adelaide who gender it was. Like, because you can pick in the game.
Oh, yeah, because you can pick in the game if you're a boy or girl.
So I'm like, I don't know. It could be a guy or it could be. I don't know.
Now, canonically,
that lasted all 10 minutes. So I'm like, it's a dude.
It's a dude.
So,
well, now it's not immersive. So
yeah. So hopefully the remake's good. Hopefully Fate of the Republic is okay. We'll see. We could actually get KOTOR 3 in that, but anyway, that's all I really pretty much have for you guys. Is there anything else you want to... I know, Chelsea, you probably have something, but
I don't
David
think
or
so.
Chelsea, is there anything you guys else want to touch? I mean, anything else you want to see? What do you
More,
think
I want to see
Filoni...
more monsters.
What do you think Filoni and them are going to do?
What?
I don't
trust
have high
Filoni.
hopes.
Because, I mean, the rumor that you and me talked about, Chelsea, is they might reset the timeline with Ahsoka
Please
Season 2,
don't.
but I'm like, why would
Unless
you
it's
do
your
that?
idea that they want to do.
Yeah, if
I'm
if
not
they
cool with
res-
it unless David's cool
Unless
with
it's
it.
the pizza dream.
yeah, the only way I want the timeline reset is if it's Heir to the Empire adaptation and Luke Skywalker's
Wakes
pizza
up.
dream. That's what I want. He whatever the Jedi equivalent of
Anchovies.
extra greasy cheese pizza is, and he ate a little bit too much of it for dinner,
bed.
and he had a weird nightmare about some crazy shit happening. And that was the last decade of Star Wars media.
Just erase all of Disney. I want more creatures. I would
What about
love...
Death Troopers?
I would love a mockumentary style series, but Star Wars, and you would have like Star Wars' version of David Attenborough, and he would be
like
like
what they did with Pandora on
kind
Avatar.
of, but it would be like
This
there
shit's
would be like a different planet every
You know what?
season.
You know
narrated by
actually would
Liam
be really
Neeson,
good?
guys.
Would be like a Star Wars mockumentary with a presenter who's like doing things in the style of like Philomena Kunk.
What? I
You
don't
know,
what that
Not
is.
familiar.
You don't know who that is?
Philomena Kunk?
That BBC
Oh,
show?
the chick! Yeah,
Yes.
that'd be awesome.
Wait,
this
the one
is
who's
Jabba's
really
palace.
like
the British chick.
yeah, and
Yeah.
she's like
She's
really
like-
loud and funny.
And she's like really clueless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like, this was a Roman painting because they were naked all the time, or something like that. That's the
It's
line.
just like BS.
It's just BS.
That's
all it is.
that's what I want to see. A Star Wars mockumentary, but with like
I think it's
What alien
Carmelita
would
or
they be?
something, but it's Kunk. Yeah, the last.
no, the actor's name.
No,
but
not the actors.
The
but yeah,
character's name
character.
she's playing,
is
yeah.
Philomena Kunk.
That's terrible. That'd be funny.
CUNK. Kunk.
Gosh.
What alien would she be?
I don't know.
She would be like an Nemoidian, like the ones from the beginning of Phantom Menace that are from the treaty and stuff.
Oh my god, that'd
'Cause
they're, like,
pretty
funny.
pathetic.
The Filipino aliens, yeah.
I
That is so funny.
I don't know why I'm thinking Twi'lek for some reason.
That could work too. Get a really old lady.
Yeah, we want.
Like I'm just thinking like a Twi'lek, but like in a Hillary Clinton style pantsuit.
Oh my gosh. That could work. I see it happening.
This is a tauntaun. And if you cut them open, they
You
have
may
warm-
survive the
You
night.
may survive the night.
It's like Wampa approaching her in the background.
Yeah. You survive the night if you can survive the smell.
Yeah.
Oh, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to end it there. Thank you so much for listening. We bid you adieu. And remember, when those fan fictions are creeping up on your style, and you really think, man, I could fix Star Wars myself. I could do it all by myself. I'm not some Star Wars fan like JJ. I can just do it myself. And then you created everything that you tried to stop. So don't forget that. And Snarp Fangle on.
Bye-bye now.